Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming. And the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Some Random Guy Speaks. I am your host, Tony Love, in the house, and I got a lot of love today. Boy, do I have a lot of love today, boy. We're going to be talking about it. We're going to be talking about it. I'm going to go ahead and put my camera up there, show my beautiful, handsome face, you know. All right. Where's my, oh, there it is. Okay, I'm like saying, where's my mic at? All right, there we go. Let me go ahead. There we go. That looks a lot better. Ladies and gentlemen, we're about to kick it off and things. Yeah. So we're going to wait for people to get into the room. Yep, Jerry. Yeah, I'm doing fine. He says, Jerry says, where Tony at? Oh, yeah, Tony is right here in Detroit. Detroit, you know what I'm saying? Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Let me see if I can bring that camera down just a bit. Huh? Is it chopping my head off? Yeah, it is. Okay, we'll just do it like that. Okay, that's cool. Okay. Yeah, Jerry, so I'm here now. There I am. Yeppers. Thank you for the likes. I appreciate you all. Boy, we're going to be talking about Gavin Knucklehead Newsom, man. It says here at the title that I placed it, Gavin Newsom, right, faces criminal investigation. What is next? Woo, man. We're going to be talking about a governor, right, and possible and allegedly have some criminal elements, right? Him and his wife, you know, boy, we're going to talk about it, you know. We're going to talk about it. Black Guy 9 is in the house, man. That's a mod. Shout out to you, Black Guy 9. Yep, let's cook. You got that right, Black Guy 9. That's good. And you know how I do. I love to cook, don't I? And actually, I do love to cook, too. Physically as well as online here, even with the trolls. I love cooking trolls, you know. It's what my specialty is. So, yeah. So, other than that, though, ladies and gentlemen, you know, like we are already here. Edmund says hi. Yep, as well. Let me give a shout out to Edmund. Let me do my small applause, though, you know, and things. There we go. Some more people come in the room. That's about realistic, right? A little small clap there. Exactly. Appreciate you. We got Big John in the house. What's up, man? What's going on, Big John, man? Good to see you on and stuff, you know. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You know. Oh, yeah. It is all good. We got Big John in the house. Hold on. Let me give another applause right here. We got Big John. And then most of the time, ladies and gentlemen, as I mentioned yesterday, I love, I should have been in show business. I love to entertain. What can I say? But yeah, but it's all good though. We're going to talk about it and things like that. Say it isn't so, Gavin. Say it isn't so. You know what I mean? We got Christine Marshall says, man, those people on the left don't like me in their chat rooms. Well, you know what? You are welcome here, Christine, once again. Let me give another shout out to you, Christine. You are welcome here. There we go. Yep, it's all good. Let me go ahead and give my mystic. It's for the women. There we go. I do that for the women and stuff here. But you are welcome. Even the people on the left are welcome, This is a thing. Moderates, left, rights, this is not an echo chamber. I just don't silence people and just shut people down. You have every right to speak your mind, Big John says, I do love your show. I appreciate it though, Big John. I knew you did love my show. I got a lot of people. I try to entertain. No hard feelings, big guy. No hard feelings, But yeah, it's all good, man. Let me see a red card. Yeah. Yep, but it's all good though. I try to keep somewhat of some balance, you know what I mean? But through entertaining, we got Cheryl too in the house, the lovely Cheryl. There we go. Yep, we got Cheryl in the house as well too. Welcome back, Cheryl Schultz. There we go. Yep, Black Guy 9 says SRGS is the jam. Yep, it's the jam. Yep, we got Texas Jane in the house as well. Hold on for a minute. That's another mod squad, and Tony Tone is always looking for more. Let me see here. Let me see. He's always looking for more and more mod squads. These are my sheriffs and stuff. Yeah, Big John is cool. Yeah. Yeah, they don't call him little. Yeah, he's cool. I call him Big John. Yeah, Big John said he liked my show. You know what I'm saying? So it ain't no hard feelings though. I call him Big John. He's the guy on the right with the sport jacket. He told me that yesterday though, which I kind of figured it makes so. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, it's all good. Let me see here. Heard the baby duck. Wait a minute, the baby duck? Hold on, you heard that? The baby duck that died in the reflection pool. Oh, yeah, man. Oh, man, turned his steering wheels towards the algae first. Did a baby duck really die? Because I know that they put that fertilizer in the reflection pool, the Lincoln pool and things like that. And then automatically the algae was in there. So whatever that was in there, I hope that the baby duck didn't die. Did a baby duck die? Big John says, like I said, I'm not a Republican or a Democrat. I said, yeah, he's a moderate. He told me that before. Big John told me that before. He's not a Republican or a Democrat. I have moderates that follow me. Omega is a moderate. Joe Mama is a moderate. You know what I'm saying? We probably talking about some old school libertarians that follow me as well too. Edmund says Gavin should have been in prison years ago. But here's the thing though, Edmund, we were under Joe Biden administration, and it was going to be very hard to get Gavin, even though everything is smelling like a rat. It stinks, but he's under investigation now. Yep. Make algae great again. Yeah, they're in there. Somebody put a 250-foot gash in the pool as well too. Did you guys hear that? Oh my goodness. I was like, what the, but they got round security now, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, we're gonna go ahead and dive into it though, man. We're gonna dive into it, get in there and things. And talk about this stuff. Let me see. Big John says, you can call me anything you want, big or little. I go by both nicknames. Yeah, and that's cool though, Big John. That's what's up. We got, let me see here. Brian Reedy's is in the house as well, man. Where's my clap at, Where's my applause at? There we go. Brian Reedy is also a mod, you know what I'm saying, as well. Boy, I tell you. Brian Reedy, yep, he got all the mods in here. This is the mod squad. And you can be a mod too, if you say the right things and act right, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, that's exactly what it is. Black Guy 9 says, what's up, Brian? Yep, it's a popular name. You know what I mean? Brian's, I know, actually who spell it the correct way. You know what I'm saying? Right. What's that? Internet Crate says, I love that YouTube Live is a new outlet for ghetto people. A new outlet for ghetto. Are you trying to insinuate that I'm ghetto? You know, are you for real? I never said one time, what up, doe? You know, I never said anything. You know, that's the actual wording around here in Detroit. What up, doe? You know, my man, I can speak, but I don't. You know what I'm saying? So what makes me ghetto? Internet Crate, I'm interested to know. Texas Jane said, oh yeah, we gotta do it right. Texas Jane, she's a modern day Annie Oakley with the 6-shooters though. You know, I always say that, you know. Modern day Annie Oakley. Some of y'all that may not know who Annie Oakley is, but if you are a Gen Xer or if you are a baby boomer, do you know who Annie Oakley is? You know, in the Wild Wild West, pow, pow, pow. You know what I'm saying? She was one of those. She was about that life. Yep, about that life. Let me see here. Blah, blah, blah. Oh, yeah, Texas Jane saying, Brian Reedy says to Texas Jane. Oh, yeah, we got Howard in the house, man. Hey, man, how are you doing, Howard, man? I mean, where's my applause at? You know what I'm saying? I got all of you guys, man. In fact, I got something new that I worked on today. In fact, I was going to do it. I'm so used to calling you guys out and the shouts out, but I'm going to do it right now. Go ahead, Shalandra. Take it away.
Let us give a shout out to the Mod Squad. Starting with Black Guy 9, Texas Jane, that is a member. Man USA 1, Slick Nick, both are members. Denise Farmer, Dana, Jason Beatrice, that is a member. Brian Reedy, that is a member. Joe Mama, that is a member. Howard, that is a member.
Yep, so there it is. I appreciate it, Shalandra. Yep, she has actually me to do another reminder. Take it away, Shalandra. Go ahead.
Attention all trolls. Please refrain from using harsh language and threats of violence. All violators will be blocked from the chat. Thank you very much, Chandria.
Yeah, Chandria. Yep, there we go. Sorry about that. You know, but yeah, that's it. So yeah, man. So let me see it. Brian Reedy says, Black Guy 9, great to see you, sir. Oh yeah, yeah. Let me see it. Jay says, don't listen to those demo crap libtards. Yeah, I know that's right. Yeah, we don't listen to them, even though they come in the room and things, but we're about to get started with this thing. Sup, dude? This is what Jay Sizzle says, you know. What's up, Sizzle, my nizzle? What the dizzle, you know? JFK 2026. I just took a fat, he did a whiz, you know what I'm saying? Well, you got to get it out. Howard says the original mod in the house. Here we go. Yeah, Howard is over here. Boy, I tell you, Howard, you sure are one of the originals, though. That is for sure. Shout out to Howard. There we go. We got Ryan K. Hello, Tony. Hello, Ryan K. Welcome back to the chat. Everybody get recognized. Let me say Big John, Texas Jane laughing hysterically. Yeah, Big John says, one thing that bugs me about Democrats, and that thing is when Charlie Kirk was killed, right? Democrat supporters were laughing, dancing, doing their thing, right? And they thing. I know what you mean. It was funny. I don't find it funny. We never found it funny, though, Big John. It was in not just bad taste, it was just morbid. It was weird. This type of hatred, you know, I mean, if something were to happen to, let's say, one of their own, you know, well, I wouldn't be over here celebrating that. That's just twisted and morbid, right? Even though we don't have to agree on everything, even with politics, we are still human beings, man. And this is why we need to respect each other. Now, I know I have my clowning, I do my thing, but it's entertainment, right? I'm over here holding a grudge to somebody and say, yeah, so-and-so. I can't wait to get on him tomorrow and doxing people. No, we don't do that around here. We are much more civilized, you know? And plus, when you up here on doing these live streams, you have to have somewhat of thick skin. That mean they even come after me, you know what I'm saying? Shoot, you know how many times they have said stuff about me, coon and sellout, tap dancer, Uncle Ruckus, you know? It may come up here time after time. Oh, man, we got a Klansman. Oh, man, what the heck? Clayton. Man, do you have any other type of... Man, hold on. Let me read before I read Clayton. Hold on for a minute. Oh, man. Let me see. Jesus help, please. Trump stay alive. Oh, yeah, I must read. Let me see here. Falafel says, do you worship your boyfriend in much? Oh, man, gosh, man. Clayton, you have every avatar photo to put up. He puts up a photo of a Klansman, man. Do you ever wonder how wrong with the blacks? Clayton, you got the modern day Klan face up here, man. No one's gonna take you serious with that, man. You got to change that, Clayton. But you know what? What's wrong with the blacks? Well, I'm gonna tell you this. Since you're asking that question, do I ever wonder? I don't wonder as a question mark what's wrong with them. I know what's wrong with them, right? It have come from years and years of programming, right? We're talking about victimhood. We're talking about fear, right? Fear, victimhood, right? The lack of accountability and responsibility. I know a ton of things, just like with everybody else. But what seems to impact us more, because when you look at us as black folk as a group, now individually, you know, we do our own thing and stuff like that. There's a lot of blacks that are morally right. But you have a small minority group that get a lot of attention on the media and things and so forth. It appears that they are the majority of people. They are not. This is why you have a thing called black fatigue, right? Where blacks are speaking out against the ones that lack accountability and responsibility or whatever. You know, you already know about the Carmelo Anthony thing, right? I mean, men and boys, I mean, we fight. Boys, we fight. We were taught, you know, boys gonna always get physical. We was taught to throw those things, right? I mean, I never been about somebody carrying a knife and knifing and stabbing someone in the heart, man. Man, that's just way over. We came from Generation X. You remember that on Friday? Craig, you win some, you lose some. You win some, you lose some. And that's basically what we were taught. You know, we didn't do this stuff about no gun and a knife going to school. We wasn't that much afraid, right? We had to throw those things, right? This is what Generation X. You guys as baby boomers, y'all know what I'm talking about. Remember Friday? You know, Craig, you win some and you lose some. When is the day, right? And he's obviously a Generation Zennial, right? He's a Zennial baby, right? Where they fear for their life, they got to carry up blades, whatever the knife was. It was totally, because a life was lost, right? That guy lost his life and his family. They would never see their son again, man, ever, over some nonsense. And I've been meaning to want to talk about that before, but this is senseless violence. And they're being pushed. Take your knife to school, take your gun to school. No, we throw those things. And what y'all young generation, I'm talking about the Zennial generation, y'all don't know what we had to deal with, right? You don't know what we had to deal with at all. We weren't that weak, especially Generation X. We weren't that weak at all, though. We had to fight, and boys, we fought it out. But you ain't never heard nobody coming in there. No. The guy lost his life too. 30 years. Right? In the joint, right? That whole situation shouldn't have happened like that, you know? I'm totally against it. A taking of a life? You know what I'm saying? Come on now. I mean, shoot. But yeah, though, Clayton, I had to bring all that up just to answer your question, you know, and things. You may want to change that avatar, man. I don't know about that one, you know? You know. Gavin, let me see here. Before we go in, Edward says, Gavin Newsom needs to be put in prison. You're right about that, and we're going to get into it. Black Democrats is the problem. That is correct. Because, again, we can look at the so-called black community, right? And when they broke up the family unit, because look at it. Look at Carmelo Anthony. This is a prime example of what I talked about. Because when they had that court proceedings and all that other type of stuff, I know he has a father, but I don't know where he was in his life. The mama was there, you know, falling all out, oh, my baby, this and that. If you cared about your baby, and I'm just saying this really, right, for whoever else is listening, right, you can't have your child taking weaponry in the school. And they got a weapons ban in school. Don't you know this? I mean, that right there, man. The guy could have still been around, man. Clayton says, God took Mr. Kirk, put for being a false prophet. I'm gonna say this though, and this is another thing. with Charlie Kirk. And don't leave out the Southern Poverty Law Center as well too. That was paid by the left, paid by the Democrats, and they're under heavy scrutiny because they're about to be arrested. You know what I'm saying? Because they're under heavy scrutiny right now, making up these hate maps, paying a lot of these Klansmen and things, just paying them to go out here and terrorize certain groups who they deem once again as being the enemy. And this is exactly what ended up happening, man. This is exactly what happened. I'm going to read a few more and then we're going to start the show. Let me see here. Chef Joseph says, let me see here. Have Republicans done anything over the past 40 years other than giving tax breaks to the super rich? You know, I would say in Trump's era, he has done a whole lot of things, right? And we talked about his what is it, the Agenda 47, where he has a 20 bullet point that he ran on. You know what I'm saying? He even had a plan before, but the American First thing speaks for itself. I went over that. I went over a lot of things with Trump's policies. Stopping of the border, right? We're talking about deportation. That's what's really been going on with a lot of this tax hikes and everything. A lot of it has to do with poor, bad government management, mainly coming from the left because they've been in power longer. And if you're talking about the Rhino Republicans, which I don't rock with, war hawks, right? These people are nothing more than a uniparty. It's WWE. We always said it all and over again. You have two people, right, posing that they hate each other, but they're high-fiving. I mean, look at Messi, you know, the dude right now, John Thune the buffoon, right? He let you know because he's been against the American Save Act from day one. He was about in the process of getting him out there. He's part of the problem. He's another rhino. These rhinos, Messi Massey, Thomas Massey, and all the rest of them, Bill Cassidy, all these big guys are nothing but rhinos. We got a lot of rhinos. It's a lot of cleaning up. You got to keep in mind, it ain't, when you look at it as a Republican thing, you have already lost. We have always cited the uniparty before Trump. That's the thing. And this is why they hate Trump. Trump is not in the government elites. Trump had to learn his way when he won in 2016. He had to know who's who, right? Government is a very dirty game, right? Up there on the Capitol Hill and stuff like that. There's a lot of dirty politics going on in both sides. And this is why they went after Trump, because Trump was an outsider. He's not an insider for the establishment. You may think so. Just because he's a billionaire, all billionaires don't like each other. There's a lot of billionaires that hate each other, especially when a billionaire that they can't control, right? Most of these people, otherwise, they got some type of dirt on them. They got something of what their deepest secrets are, and this is why it's easy to control them. That's what the whole Epstein Island was about. They went after politicians and dignitaries and people of importance, even in the monarchy, right, that was on that island. I'm just saying, this is how the people are controlled. Trump never stepped foot on that island like that, right? But they hate people like him because they can't put nothing on them. So what do? They make it up, right? Let's get into Gavin Newsom, right? And I appreciate you guys for hanging out. Let's get into Gavin Knucklehead Newsom, man. So let me go ahead and pull that up here, right? Boy, I tell you, boy, So for some of you guys that may or may not know, right? Once again, this is some random guy speaks. I'm your host, Tony Love, keeping it real with no corporate filters, no spin, just facts and straight talk for an American first perspective, right? I just love how that rolls off, right? Today, we're diving in deep into a story that is blowing up. We're talking about in California and across the nation. California Governor Gavin Newsom is facing a federal criminal investigation, right? He's screaming political witch hunt and pointing the finger straight at President Donald Trump. But let's cut through the noise. What we do actually know, right? What do we actually know? This is why this is happening and what could happen next. Stick around with me and we're going to break it all down. Simple and detailed, right? Like we're sitting on the porch chatting, right? Yep, just like we're all sitting on the porch, right? But first of all, right, or first off, Let's get to the timeline straight. On January the 15th, 2026, Gavin Newsom, right, himself went public in a video announcing that the U.S. Department of Justice is investigating him and his wife, Jennifer Siebel, right, Newsom. He claims federal agents have been knocking on the door of his family and friends and former employees, demanding records and using the grand jury subpoenas. Newsom painting this as a Trump weaponizing the DOJ for leverage because Newsom has been trash talking him and might run for governor in 2028, right? But here's the reality check, folks. Reports from the multiple sources indicates these investigations didn't just start yesterday under Trump. They've been brewing for about a year in the Eastern District of California, right, predating Trump's current term. One track focuses on Jennifer Siebel Newsom's taxes and her nonprofit organizations. Other ties back to Newsom's former chief of staff, Dana Williamson. You guys remember Dana Williamson, right? Quick background on Williamson, right? Was indicted back in late 2025 on some serious federal charges. Oh no, we talking about bank fraud, we talking about wire fraud, we talking about conspiracy involving funneling money for a dormant campaign account. She really plead guilty, right, to some charges in a plea deal. Y'all know what plea deals mean. She's singing like a bird. You think she's gonna go down by herself? She's telling everything, right? And this is why Gavin Newsom is so worried right now, ladies and gentlemen, because if she's turning evidence on him and his wife, Jennifer Siebel, boy, I tell you, man. So this is not looking too good. In fact, it's looking so bad for Gavin Newsom that for him trying to run as president, he can't have these type of scandals tied to his name. I mean, even with California, we're going to get there, man. Oh, my goodness, you got to be more careful, I tell you. So while this case hasn't directly nailed Newsom, not yet, investigators are clearly looking at the connection in his inner circle. Newsom's office says agents are on a fishing expedition with no crime found yet, just digging through years of documents. Trump and the DOJ haven't officially confirmed details, which is standard for ongoing probes, right? But the whistleblowers, right? But the whistleblowers and the complaints coming from Sacramento apparently kicks this off. Man. Now let's talk about what happened next in a case like this. Criminal investigations at the federal level follow a pretty standard path. Even if the politics are messy, here's a simple breakdown. Number one, we're talking about the investigation phase, where we are now, FBI, IRS agents interviewing witnesses, subpoenaing bank accounts or bank records, emails, financial docs, right? And grand jury testimony. They're building the case, ladies and gentlemen. This can take months. For Newsom, they already contacting associates, right? And possibly his wife's nonprofit finances. If there's smoke around self-dealings, influence peddling, right, or improper use of funds tied to his administration, ladies and gentlemen, it gets scrutinized, right? Number two, charging decisions. Federal prosecutors, U.S. Attorney Office, review the evidence with the DOJ in Washington. If they find probable cause of a crime, say fraud, tax evasion, corruption, false statements, or conspiracy, they could seek an indictment for a grand jury. No indictment means it might no indictment means it might fizzle out quietly, but a former chief of staff already pleading guilty, the scrutiny on the boss is intense, right? Number 3, indictment and arraignment. If the charge of Newsom, right, would appear in court, plead not guilty almost certainly, and get released on a bond or his own recognizance as a high-profile figure, this would be explosive news. A sitting governor indicted. And that's big, ladies and gentlemen. If this goes down, because she's singing, you know what I'm saying? Williamson, Dana Williamson, she's singing like a bird. You know what I'm saying? So so depending on what type of evidence they have collected, we're talking about for an indictment. And he knows this. Gavin Newsom knows this. He's very, very worried. Very, very worried. Number 4, trial or plea. Discovery, right? We're talking about motions, right? Possible trial, right? High profile cases like this drags on. Think years. Or a plea deal, right? If evidence is strong. Convictions could mean prison time, fines, disqualification from the office depending on the charges. What do y'all think? Y'all think if they capture him, which it sounds like they are, because they got somebody singing, right? She took a plea deal, right? So you know that she had to give up somebody. You think she's gonna go down by herself? No, I wouldn't go down by myself if I was crooked, right? I'm gonna be singing like a bird, man, I tell you. Number 5, political fallout. Even without charges, the cloud hurts. Newsom using it to fundraise and rally Democrats as a Trump victory, but it damaged his 2028 ambitions. California voters mixed, right? His base might stick, but the independents and moderates, right, see chaos in the Golden State. High taxes, crime, homelessness, right? Businesses fleeing, right? A prologue probe keeps those failures in the spotlight, right? According to the Hill. All right, so there it is, though. Look, whether you love Trump or not, accountability matters. Newsom has positioned himself as an anti-Trump resistance leader. He really has. Open border vibes, strict lockdowns during COVID, right? Progressive policies that may, stay wrecked, what says wreck California, right? If those real corruption is his orbit, Americans deserve to know. We were the Russia collusion, right? Playbook before from the other side, endless investigations with a little results. But if the evidence sticks, ladies and gentlemen, if it sticks, no one is above the law. Remember that on the left? No one is above the law. And I agree. Not the governor, not president, right? So no governor, no presidents, or presidents and no governor. So what do you think, right? What do you think, ladies and gentlemen? Is this legitimate justice or revenge? Drop me a comment, like, and subscribe. And I appreciate you guys subscribing as well as liking and things. You know, this is Tony Tone, and just sharing with you on my thoughts, right? As far as with this episode about America first, and talking about clean government, strong states, and putting citizens first, not endless political theater, or last for that matter. Boy, I tell you, man. So you guys, it's a lot of stuff that's happening to Gavin Knucklehead Newsom. And it's his own fault. You don't think that Dana is going to be over there singing? That's what a plea deal is about, right? So, hey, if I say this, hey, you can get a lighter sentence. You know what I'm saying? So they're going to play her against him, right? You don't think she have the evidence on this guy? This guy, Gavin, is in serious legal trouble. And he knows this, ladies and gentlemen. And he knows this. You know what I'm saying? Let me come in and dive back into the chat a little bit. Rap with you guys a little bit. Hold on for a minute. I got to get caught up. We got Dana here. I'm still pissed off about what happened to Charlie. Yeah, we all are upset what happened to Charlie Kirk, because this is the problem. They were over here virtual signaling, and we already know some mindless, you know what, going to go out there and take matters in his own hands. And look, that's why we don't have Charlie Kirk now. You know what I'm saying? And it's sad, though, too, man. It's sad that this political, rhetoric turning up the heat, talking about turning it down on both sides. We never turned it up in the first place, you know? It was all motivated by the far left, the alt left. I told you guys before, the Democrat socialists are the most dangerous that we ever had to face. They make the progressives look like angels, man, right? Look at what's going on. Cheryl says Republicans haven't been in office for any years. Democrats have. It's true. Democrats have been in office for over 16 years or more, right? And look at what they have created. When we were dealing with progressives, which was basically trying to take over America, right? This is what they were doing, right? They were the ones that set this whole thing up, man. We're talking about from the racist KKK, racist past, up into the modern day, man. Nothing hasn't changed, but they just got a lot more progressive. They have these socialist, Marxist, and communist ideas, right? Christine says Gavin Newsom's wife got in trouble, but I didn't hear what she said. Yeah, I'm gonna have to go and pull that video up and check it out. Black Guy 9 says MAGA forever. Big John says I didn't always agree with him, but at least he was trying to bring people together. You talking about Trump or Gavin Newsom, Big John? I'm trying to get caught up. I know I'm way behind on the comments. Let me see here. Doke says a duck is a duck, regardless if you want to call it a fake news or not facts. And facts are facts, and you're refusing to believe them. What are you talking about here, Doke? What you talking about if you refuses to believe him? You talking about, so the stuff that I just read, you guys, and Doke is saying that, what you trying to say, that none of this is true about Gavin Newsom? You mean to tell me that Gavin Newsom is innocent behind this and he's just doing a swell and a well job over there as a governor of California when a lot of businesses are leaving, people are leaving, millions and millions of dollars have been exiting out of California? I mean, to shut down 2 refineries over here. Once again, this is why the gas is $2 more expensive in California than it is anywhere else in America. What do you mean? Sleepy Time Video says, yes, the Republicans set slaves free and closed the border just to start with. Exactly. And they did way more than just that, but you're right. That is the precipice of the Republican Party, right? It started with the blacks and the whites, to be really, just to put it precise, you know. This is why this is the party of both white and black ancestry, if they were Republicans, right? Not all whites, as well as you know, blacks didn't agree with the slavery thing, right? And it was true. Black Guy 9 says, he's a high schooler. Uh-oh. If you're a high schooler, you know you got to bounce. You got to be at least 18 or older, right? And things. Let me see here. Chef says Clayton needs to be banned. Racism is out of control. Yeah, and that's the thing about it. The racism was manufactured, Chef, the whole time. The SPLC pushed this racist narrative. They were paying people to go out here and do vicious things when it come down to deleting and all type of stuff. They pushed and stoked this type of stuff, you know? And it happened more so when Obama became president. It got out of control because they were paying this hate group and the hate maps. They were paying this stuff. They were still, I still say that they were responsible for Charlie Kirk as well. At the time, we didn't even know about the SPLC until afterwards, right? Right? Look at this. Cheryl says Democrats are giving the rich in Chicago a tax break if they vote Democrat. I can believe that, because this is what they do. We already can name this. I did the other live stream yesterday where we talked about the 5 Democratic cities, right? We talking about crime and how these cities are not even, they're not even going to allow the government to look at their voter rolls. That means that they already have something to hide. They know those voter rolls are very dirty. They have a lot of illegals on there and dead people and others. That's why they won't let them see, won't let nobody see them. That's what it is. And they created laws in California to make sure, because they don't have to do it. They don't have to show them at all. Gavin Newsom has set up laws to protect himself. This is democracy, ladies and gentlemen. Dirty democracy, something that I never ride with. This is how we talk about mob rules or priest rules. It's a leader that set his own laws up and rules to protect him, not of the people, for the people, by the people. is of the criminals, for the criminals, and by the criminals. This is exactly what it is. Wild Bird's prophecy says, this is my first time here. I love watching smart patriotism who love the country and take pride in what we all love as Americans. God bless family and country. I'm gonna have to post that though too. What am I thinking about, guys? I'm not even been posting this stuff. I apologize. Maybe I have to go back and post this stuff, but I appreciate the compliment. And that's what we do, because I have people that are on the left, people that are moderates, and people on the right? But all I'm saying is we don't have to agree on everything. And this is not an echo chamber. However, we are going to talk about and point out things that are coming from the left right now. I mean, all these rhinos, I still consider them people on the left. They're not Republicans on the right. It's all the uniparty. We've been played, right? We've been scammed. We've been hoodwinked and bamboozled. And this is why this stuff is coming to the light now. We have to know who's who, right? That's on the side of the American people, American first, right? Clayton says it's a black Klansman with the afro. Okay, I see that now. Okay, black Klansman. I remember the movie. Say a black Klansman, right? Shouldn't that hood be black instead of white? I mean, I'm just saying though, should the hood be black? I don't stand for this stuff. I don't. But I remember the movie. I watched the movie. I do see the Afro pink man. He got the black power fist up. I do see that though, Clayton, and I was going to say Clayton is a brother name, by the way. I know who the Blood Brothers are, you know what I'm saying? Just by the name and how they type and talk, because I've been around the brothers for a long time, right? I know, But my suggestion is if you're going to do that, you may as well go on and paint the sheet black, That way, you know what I'm saying? Because you're going to get some pushback the way that looks, But I see it. I do see it, though. I do see it. But, yeah, that's a brother, ladies and gentlemen. He ain't white. That's a brother underneath that hood. Yep. Data says, what's wrong with the Democrats? You got the question mark around here. Let's talk about it. What is wrong with the Democrats? Well, they don't believe what they profess, right? They say they're the party of love. They're the party of acceptance, right? And they're the party of opportunity, right? But what I notice about the Democrats, they lack accountability, lack responsibility, and they use victim groups, right? These groups out here, and they make them into victim groups, right? And they pour money behind them, right? This is what they do. If you notice that, you've seen them do it with the blacks. You've seen them do it with the feminist group. You've seen them do it with the LGBTQ. You see them do it with the ADL, right? Look at all these groups. You got the Jewish organization. You got the NAACP. You got Urban League. You got all these groups that all have something in common. And the one thing they all have in common is that they all feel like they're a victim, and they all have fear, right? If you were to interview them, they are afraid. Now what they're saying is they're afraid of Donald Trump and what Donald Trump may do to them and their organizations and their communities. They scared of Trump. They don't know. It's actually telling that they do not know who the real threat in our society is, which is the Democrats, socialists. It's the far off left, right? They are violent by nature, right? They hate the Constitution and they hate the guns. They hate what we call freedom of speech, freedom of religion, and the freedom of the press. As long as they are controlling it, then it's okay. We have witnessed this before, back when Biden actually got and became a resident, not the president, but the resident that was selected by the deep state, right? This is exactly what ended up happening. They stole the 2020 election. If they were to do that, they can do anything, right? And we are seeing it, ladies and gentlemen. We don't have to ask what's wrong with the Dems. We just know that this group here, there's a group that's already into view right now. It's not the old progressives. They're pushing them out. Your Maxine Waters, your Hillary Clinton, right? Nancy Pelosi, all of them are your old progressives. Those are Chuck Schumer. Pencil Neck, Adam Shifty Ship, those are your old progressives, right? The only one that believes in this radical, right, Democrat, socialist, Marxist, communist is Bernie Sanders, right? He is their father or godfather when it come down to inviting AOC in. They got Mondummy in. They got these radical Cory Booker, right? They got the list of these people, right? In fact, let's go ahead and pull it up. I'm going to pull it up again. Therefore, we could be made assured. We know who these people are. Give me one moment here. And I welcome you all to the chat again. While I'm pulling that up and things, let me go ahead and pull this up here.
Can we get to 100 likes? Let's go, MAGA.
Let's go, MAGA. Yeah. Go ahead, Shalandra. Yeah. Let me see here. Now, let me see here. That's my notes there. Let me go ahead and pull this up, guys. And therefore, we're going to go ahead and talk about it again. Because I know I kind of misread it the last time. But I'm still going to pull it up, though, because this is very important. We have to be made aware of who these Democrat socialists are, right? This is what they stand for. They do not stand for America. They do not stand for the Constitution. This is a group here that once again have weaponized these groups and made them a victim and so forth. All this stuff is true. There's no hiding it, and they have taken the mask off. They are not denying it no more, ladies and gentlemen. They are telling you exactly who they are. Here it is right here. All right, here it is. And let me go ahead and put myself down here for right now, so therefore you guys can see it. Now, there are ones that are born here in America, and the other ones are foreign born. It says the Democrat socialist and the foreign born Democrats. So we got the domestic ones, such as Cory Booker, Jamil Bowman, right? Jabari, Bryceport, Farrar Forrest, I'm just going to say that, Rashida Tlaib, right? These are the ones that's born in America. Now on the right side, we got Ilhan Umar, Somalia, right? Pramila Jayapal is Indian, right? Well, we also have Adriano, right? Which country is this? I can't see it that well, but it's foreign. We got Jesus Garcia from Mexico, and Maisie Harano is from Japan, right? Now, you know how I feel, and some of you guys may feel about this as well. Now, I don't have any problems on the left because these are all American born, but the ones on the right are foreign born. What's this problem? They don't need to be in our government because these people, of course, they're going to see their country is first. It's not America first. We've seen this with Ilhan Umar, even Rashida Tlaib Rashid, right? We've seen it with her as well, too. Even though she's born here, Palestinian, right? Background, but she cares more about her country over there. And I don't blame her for that. But at the same time, we don't have time for radicals. And guess who do a lot of the voting in with radicals? This is the Democrat socialists. We got a radical that is in the Supreme Court Justice, which is Ketanji Jackson. She's a radical. We got a lot of radicals, ladies and gentlemen. Radicals in our country is really bad. It's not good. We don't need them, and that's why we want to get rid of them. We got to get them out of power. If you allow these radicals to continue with the momentum that they're doing, you already seen they took over New York. You already seen that cities are being taken over. Look at Dearborn being taken over, right? 55%. What are they, right? People from Middle Eastern backgrounds and stuff like that, right? And what I'm saying is that if you from another country, you don't need to be in our government. That's all I'm saying, right? Because if it was anywhere else, you wouldn't be allowed to do this. The Dems allowed this to happen on purpose, and I speak out against it. I'm totally against it. I don't care about you calling me a xenophobe or whatever like that, because the reason that they don't like blacks, I'm talking about your liberal blacks and white liberals. They hate a black conservative because we destroy their narrative. If I was a white man speaking the way I speak, they would have been cited me as a racist and all kind of stuff, you know. But when we and others, we destroy their narrative, right? So you guys see this here? These are your Democrat socialists. And we have many more of them. I think we have about 51 of them in government. Excuse me, in government right now. We have 51 of them in government. We don't need them. We don't need them in our government, ladies and gentlemen. So let me go ahead and pull up something else too. And then we're going to go ahead on. Let's want to show this as well. You know, so let's see here. Yeah. And right here, this is Danny C right here. I was watching her podcast the other day. She is the one where they have taken over Chicago, flipping Chicago red. She's actually running in a political seat right now, locally, I do believe. This is Danny C right here. So she has a lot. They're telling a lot as to what is going on. She's a Chicago native, right? And they were breaking it down of what they were doing with, I'm talking about Brandon Johnson and J.B. Pritzker over there in Chicago. J.B. Pritzker, as many of you know, he's the governor, and Brandon Johnson is the mayor, and how they turned over on their own black residents in their area. And they allowed all the set-aside programs, foreign illegals in their community and so forth, and pretty much have pushed them out. Couldn't afford to live there. Then you got gentrification due to that big ugly monstrosity, as we call the President Center, right? Oh my goodness. So they've been speaking heavily on this type of stuff. So they have a whole, her, Jesse, and a few others have actually formed their own what? Basically their own group, which is called Flipping Chicago Red and stuff. So shout out to them as well too. Let me get my thing in the applause. Okay, so yeah, so that's basically what it is, ladies and gentlemen. You know, I got so much sunlight in here. I don't even need all this extra light right now. So I should just turn that off. Yep. Well, let me see. Maybe I could turn this other one off. Let me see here, ladies and gentlemen. Okay. All right, it's natural light right now. Okay. Nothing wrong with natural light, right? Boy, it's a little bright, but that's okay though. That's all right. So yeah, so that's Danny C here, one of the leaders of Flipping Chicago Red. All right. So let me go ahead on and oops, I think I pushed and knocked that out. I didn't mean to do that. Hold on for a minute. Oh boy. Share that screen again. Okay, there we go. Give me one moment. I gotta do a restroom break, guys. Just one moment. All right, guys. So I am back. So here it is. So let me go ahead and reposition that picture here. All right. Oh yeah, I gotta pull myself back up to here too. Wait a moment. There I go. Okay. All right. So let's take a look at it here. Pull up the other stuff here. Let me see here. Is it over here or here? But yeah. Yeah, so we're having fun tonight, though, you know, talking about Gavin Newsom, you know. So he's in a lot of hot water, though, that's for sure. He's in a lot of hot water. Let me go and pull this back up. Yeah, so here it is right here. So, yep, I'm going to go ahead and pull that back up. Because, you know, and this was, like I said, 2024, but I still like it. And we're getting more and more people, you know, diversity, MAGA, all this other kind of stuff. And like I said, we can agree to disagree on some stuff, which is cool. But at the same time, though, I like to keep this picture up in a lot of cases because it destroys the narrative about Trump being a racist. Because people wouldn't follow a racist if that was true, right? And I appreciate the likes. Excuse me. Yeah, I appreciate the likes. So, let me go back into the comment section here. Let me see here. Christine Marshall says, "We love you, Clayton. Stop that stuff, man. No need for that." I know, right? That's what I'm saying, though. If you're gonna do it, make it black sheet. But we don't need it at all, to be honest. Because either way, it's gonna look really negative. I'm just kidding. Texas Jane says, "What's wrong with the libtards?" That is correct. What is wrong? Black Guy 9 says, "Educate, Tony. Educate." Yeah, you're right about that, though, Black Guy 9. I'm going to get myself caught up here, man. I know you guys had a lot to say. Howard says, "Hey, Clayton, tread carefully. I don't play that. I don't play with fools." Yeah. Yeah, if you want to do that, brother, just go on to change the avatar, as I said earlier. You got to try, because you're trying to educate people, the black fish. I know you're a brother, but, blacks have been traumatized and terrorized with that. I just don't think it's even in good humor at all, Worse than blackface. It really is. Candace says, "Democrats are loony toony, fresh and fruity, and all about as sharp as a bowling ball." Yeah, you're right about that, though. Yep. Looney toony, fresh and fruity. Yep. Cheryl says, "A lot of corruption going on with the Democrats, Republicans too. But the Dems or the Democrats are the worst." You got that right, though, Cheryl. You're absolutely right about that. Let me go ahead and post this stuff up. I need to start posting this up. So you're absolutely right here. Post that up as well, too. That way people will be able to see it. I'm going to post yours up, too. And my mom's going to post your comments as well, too. Clayton says, "God used that pansy as a tool to remove Mr. Kirk from the earth." Let me see here. Doak says, "Well, you must be a serious old Generation X." 71 Generation X, okay, are not fools. And we watch everything somebody does when we hire them to do a job. All right, let me see here. It said, "That's what those are. You must be a serious generation." Yeah, X. Okay, but 71. Okay, Generation X is not fools. Yep, yeah, we're not fools. That's for sure. Sleepy Time says, "Demo rats, Democrats." Couldn't said it any better. I could not have said it any better. I hate to say it, but I bet Carmelo was annoying that those other teams. He could have so well been. Been so. Because nobody should be teaching nobody to bring no weapon. And I don't know if his mama taught him that. They don't really. I'm going to give her the benefit of the doubt. I'm not going to put his mama in it or what she taught him because we don't know. But when you bring a knife to school, you know what I'm saying? Because I done heard stories about the other guy that bullied him and all this other stuff. May not even get to the real truth. But Big John says, "I will tell you what's wrong with the Democrats. They think seeing someone getting killed because of his beliefs, right? They think it's funny." Yeah, you're right. Yeah, you're right. You're right about that. And it's really sad, though, Big John. It's really sad. Yeah, I gotta get my water in too. But yeah, you're absolutely right. Kenny Lee says, "Libtards are such pussies." Yeah, they are, aren't they? That's the thing about it, because they've been all taught to be a victim. They even created these safe spaces, right? Remember this stuff, all this stuff that the what's it called, the Zennials were taught. They taught this from K-12 up into college, right? They even taught to embrace socialism, Marxism, and which is on the way to being communism, right? Carmelo will not walk out. Are you talking about in prison? Yeah, it's just it's sad how that went down. Clayton says 73% of them are born out of wedlock with no daddy. Yeah, it's absolutely correct. You are absolutely correct, Clayton. Yeah, they are born without a daddy. Sleepy Time video said to the big strength, the arm strength to Big John there. There you go. Kenny Lee says, I blame South Park and Rick and Morty. You know, I like Rick and Morty even better though. South Park, what did they do though? Kenny, tell me though. I'm gonna try to get caught up. Sleepy Time says they will carry Carmelo out of prison, right? Oh yeah, Carmelo. Yeah, man. I mean, yeah, it's just sad how that went down, man. And I said I wasn't gonna touch it. I didn't want to touch that story though because it's just all wrong. And the people that's outside of the courthouse, they making it more of a problem and they not even acknowledge it. I'm talking about his family and his supporters. Even Jasmine Hood Rat Crockett is speaking out against it. She's not even looking at the fact, because see, with her, it's all about black and white to her. Blacks is being good and the whites are being bad. There's a person that was murdered, right, at the hands of Carmelo Anthony, right? Boy, I tell you guys, this is sad and bad. And that's why we have to talk a little bit about that. And I'm still trying to get caught up here, you know. I'm trying to get caught up, man. But yeah, this is sad. It's a life that's lost. Right? Yeah, it's a life that is lost, ladies and gentlemen. Right? I mean, it's just really, really sad. The trial, the deposition and stuff that went down, I think they gave him 30 years and stuff like that. But but just talking about it, man, we have to talk about, there's a victim, ladies and gentlemen, and they're not even talking about the victim. They're not even apologizing about the victim at all. Don't y'all find that strange? I mean, it's strange to us, but not to them. They act as if this guy was self-defense, right? I mean, it's the saddest thing though, man. You know, oh my goodness, man. Metcalf, right? I'm talking about the guy, right? I'm talking about the 17-year-old who lost his life. Metcalf's family, ladies and gentlemen. It wasn't really a black and white issue until the Dems got wind of the story. Now, her and Jasmine Hood Rat Crockett, they pushed the narrative about it being race. And that's what ended up happening. They used the race card every single time, right? This is what ended up happening. I'm talking about Metcalf's family, right? Oh my goodness. Who was the prosecutor? Roach. You know, what a name, man. Roach. Man. Yeah, man. This is really jacked up. The victim, ladies and gentlemen, once again, the victim, her son, the Metcalf's son, right? Her son is no longer with them anymore. I remember reading about her saying, you know, it's like a bad dream, hoping that I will wake up and say that this is a bad dream. But when I noticed that my son is not here anymore, and how and I think she mentioned that in the courtroom as well too, right? Austin Metcalf, that's who it is, right? And I apologize about that, but yeah, you know, my memory sometimes. But Austin Metcalf, we're talking about the Metcalf family, right? We're talking about a murder, a senseless murder that could have been avoided, right? We don't have any problems with them duking it out, but Carmelo Anthony brought a knife. Then they tried to say it was one of those switch army knives. It ain't, what's the name? Oh, stupid Jasmine Hood Rat Crockett. Oh, it's just one of those switchblade knives. Oh, it's just a little knife. They making a big deal like it's a little knife. The knife penetrated his heart and killed that boy. We're talking about Austin Metcalf, right? And I'm sorry that I'm getting on this story late, but I really didn't want to get on it until I really found out after the deposition and stuff and what they were going to do in the trial and all that stuff. They got this big old clowning out there. Somebody brought a gun up there too. He's over here brandishing a gun. As a gun owner, you're not allowed to brandish a gun, meaning pulling out my gun and showing it. You can't do that kind of stuff, you know? So, and the gun was illegal too, you know? Depending on where he's at, in Detroit, they give you an automatic 2 years, right? Oh my goodness, man. Let me see here. I'm trying to get caught up here. Let me see here. Who was somebody insulted in the group? You turds are focused on all the wrong things. No wonder why this country is going backwards. Hey, H8, IZGH, enlighten us. Enlighten us. Tell us how we are so wrong. Teach me. I would like to know. See, I always give them an opportunity to try to explain themselves. But what the Dems do, they just throw out statements. That's all they do. That's all they do. And then claim victim at the same time. Watch he say something about Trump. Watch this. Sleepy Time video says Carmelo has 3 hits on his life at the moment. Yeah, because he got to deal with the Aryan Brotherhood. That's one of the first. You know, prisons, they are divided. You have the blacks. You also have the whites, the Aryan Brotherhood and whatever. You got a few groups. You got the Latino gangs. You got those cholos and all that. So Texas is no stranger to this type of stuff, man. Christine says people cry about Trump not delivering on all his promises, but yet other presidents only promise 1 or 2 things. I don't even do them. Don't even do them. Donald Trump has 24 promises kept, right? Google them. He's absolutely right. Christine is absolutely right. I went over Trump's 47 agenda, right? H8IZGH says good riddance, right? Who you talking about? Carmelo? All right. Sleepy Time video says Carmelo is not coming out of prison alive. Yeah, and I'm already hearing some bad stuff, though. It's going to be very, very bad for him because they politicized this thing, right? It wouldn't have been so bad, man, but this guy brought a knife and took someone's life. You know what I'm saying? This is serious. I'm talking about Austin Metcalf. They took that young boy's life. 16 and 17 years old. I forgot which is what. But these guys, neither of them were 18. Right? Christine says, yeah, Republican Democrats, they all globalists, and Trump MAGA movement are the sovereign. Yeah, exactly. Trump is a constitutional president, right? He's a transparent president. He has actually stopped 9 wars, right? Working on the 10th one, right? We have all seen it. We talking about shutting down the border. We talking about deportation, right? The one that got rid of woke, got rid of DEI and stuff like that, brought Christianity back in this country where Christians can feel the need of praying. That's why we seeing all this stuff now. I go scrolling, man. There's always something about Jesus stories and God, which I do love. I thumb a lot of that stuff up. And I be learning stuff too, you know. They be talking about stuff in the Bible and everything like that. Boy, and with Elon buying old Twitter, which is X, it's been the best thing ever, though, man. I mean, people got freedom of speech. I don't agree with everything on X or any of these other platforms, but they do have the right, as long as they're not doing it in a hateful manner, right? Howard says, gotta get ahead if rhinos, right? Yep, got to get ahead if rhinos. Oh, man, we got Jamar. Boy, look at that damn boy skinning and grinning. Boy, Jamar X is in here again, says, Trump, we love you. Oh, yeah, boy, look at Jamar, boy. Jamar, boy, that's an avatar right there. That boy is all teeth right there, boy. I ain't never seen an avatar like that. Every time I see it, it get my attention. Boy, let me go and put that down here. Boy, look at that. You got smiling there. It's all good. Look at it. Look at those teeth. Yeah, boy, look at you. Oh, man. Clayton says, does anyone else agree we should keep the hard-working Latinos and send all the lazy blacks back to mommy Africa? Now, here's the thing about it, though. You know, I'm over here looking at it. My thing is simply this, though, right? When it comes down to the Latinos, we know Latinos work hard, right? All I'm saying is that they should come over here legally because they were brought over here illegal. Not just them. You had a lot of Africans over here too, Indians and others. They all came, Chinese, they all came over here, right? Haitians, all of them came over here. Our country cannot support this magnitude of illegals. Just look at UK and all these other countries. We can't do it. And this is what's driving up the cost of living, overcrowding of hospitals. They don't pay in taxes, which means that it puts more of a burden on the taxpayer, which is us. We are the ones that's giving their neighborhoods, and the Democrats gave the set-aside programs to who? These illegals. This is what Trump turned it around. He stopped the hemorrhaging. Trump stopped that, right? Now, when it comes down to these lazy blacks and stuff like that, and I would probably come up with a program to try to get them, more of these programs where they have like these work programs where they can actually go to work, some type of career path. Something has to be done. You know what I'm saying? Something has to be done. They wouldn't be able to go over there anyway. This is, they're already born here. A lot of them are actually Americans. It's just that the breaking up of the homes. But I would always advocate, that we have to have something like that. Bring that Job Corps back. What's that? Peace Corps? Something that they can feel proud of, man, where they can learn skills and help other people and things like that out. I would say get that. I think is Greenpeace still around, guys? I haven't seen that since the 80s and the 90s, right? Boy, I tell you. Let me see here. Swing Dog says, lock him up and give him a royal perp walk. LOL. Who you want to get locked up? You got to clarify that, Swing Dog. Big John says, did anyone see that Trump is holding his chest? I think his health is failing. Do you really think so, Big John? I think Trump is fine, though, man. I mean, do y'all realize how hard Trump works? This guy barely gets any sleep because Trump knows what's coming. He knows what is at stake. Yeah, he just celebrated an 80th birthday, but he deals with his health. They gets his routine checkups and stuff. He's in good, capable hands. Now, if he falls asleep here and there, I don't have any problems with that. Hard as Trump work, do we know what's at stake? Trump is carrying stress as well as the people in this country, American citizens, right? He is the actual gatekeeper, right? To keep these other people that's trying to destroy America, because they want him to set aside so they can go in and do what they want to do. Trump is stopping it, Boy, Trump feel like he probably got the weight of the world on his shoulders, right? For what he's doing. But I hear what you're saying. I'm going to say, just think of the best of it, Big John. We don't have to go into it's bad, fading health. I have very good reason to believe that he's fine and okay. Dana says Newsom is a witch. He's more than a witch too, boy. Jamar says one more term, he'll be 83 years old. He's in perfect health and mental health. MAGA forever. That's what I'm talking about right there. Yep. So yeah, that's what I'm in agreement with Jamar, Yep. Boy, I just love that avatar, boy. I was looking like my teeth there a little bit. Clayton says, this country is going to break subsidizing black families, though. Well, here's the thing, though. They're not subsidizing the black families. The ones that it ain't the black families that's the problem, though, Clayton. That's not the problem at this point with the subsidies. It's a problem, but not the major problem. We had illegals that was getting it for free. I'm just saying, though. I'm all for safety nets, but let's work on teaching them how to fish. The Democrats just believe in giving them a fish, right? We ain't got to throw the baby out with the bathwater, right? Let's educate the people in the inner cities, blacks and brown and other. They have to learn how to fish so they could be independent, self-sufficient, right? And self-efficient, right? That's exactly what it needs to happen. They need to be able to do this. But when you constantly giving them a fish, they're going to get lazy, complacent, right? And they're not going to want to work. And then with no father in the home, they're going to go to crime. This is how it is. Big John says, thank God I don't live in California. You got to call it on its proper name. You right about that, Big John. He said, thank God we don't live in California, Boy, I tell you. Kenny Lee says, I'm sick and tired of these liberals. Always saying something, sabotaging, cheating, lying. They are the definition of the douchebags. Yeah, they really are. They all, because they taught them how to be a victim. See, the Dems see themselves as a victim. I've talked to many Dems. I got a lot of liberal friends. They all see themselves as a victim. They always have. If they're not talking about racism, how they can't get ahead, because your party that you vote for, because we got to look at it. A lot of these liberals are married to who? The Democratic Party. They still believe that the Democrats are the party for the blue collar worker. They haven't been for the party of the blue collar worker forever. They are the party of racists. They are the party of victimhood. They are the party of blaming groups and other groups of people, especially now with Trump. Anybody that's in power that don't align with their narrative or agendas, what are they going to do? If I was even the president, they'd be coming down on me, calling me all kind of stuff. Because what I believe in don't mirror for what they believe in, right? The Dems ain't never been this much on defense ever, and they can't handle it, right? This is why they discombobulated. They talk ish and stuff. They send their bots. They send their other people out on these type of groups and stuff like that, or these channels and things. Yep. They got this big old thing up saying, why you vote for Trump? Call in, tell me why you vote for Trump, you know? It's just all, it's semantics and stuff. Sween says, who remembers that lady ran up to him next to the suburban after the fires and screamed him out, and he started stuttering. Oh, you talking about from Gavin Newsom and all that? I can't remember her name. Kenny Lee says, I never hated anyone in my life until these far left liberals started coming up with pronouns, tucking their penises in their buttholes, acting like women. Ain't going into women's sports and bathrooms. Yeah, that's the thing about it. That all came by the left. Once again, victimize these people. The LGBT, it's really the transgender. They weaponize them purposely. Look at what they did to our military, right? Y'all remember that? And what is it, General Mark Milley and all them? I mean, and also they had a lot of cross-dressing, they were transgender, they say, right? Look at our military then and look at our military now. Matter of fact, I should go ahead and pull that up. Let's look at a side-by-side comparison. Just give me one moment. Give me one moment. Let's see here. American military. Let me see here. Military then under Joe Biden. Y'all remember that? Let me see here. Biden and Trump military. All right, let's take a look at it here. All right, let's go ahead and pull it on up. Let me see here. Photos. All right, let's take a look at it. Let's take a look at it here. See if we can see a side-by-side comparison between the two. Okay, I should be under Google because, let me see here. Some of these lib type situations don't like to show it, but we are going to show it, ladies and gentlemen. Just give me one moment. All right, let's go ahead and pull that up right there. All right, let me see here. Looking for the photos. It's kind of thinking right now. And I appreciate you guys in the chat. I really do. Let me see here. All right, let's take a look at it here. I just said it's do a side-by-side comparison. Let me see here. American military under Joe Biden. Under Joe Biden. Let me see here. Side-by-side comparison. All right. Okay, let's see here. Let's take a look at it. All right, let's take a look at it. All right, for some reason, it's not want to show it here. Then and now, but it won't show the photo. Okay, let me see here. It won't show the photo. Even with Grok, they miss it too. American military. Then, okay, let me see here. Under Joe Biden and Trump military. All right, let's take a look at it here. American military under Joe Biden. Let me put this in here. The LBGTQ. All right, I think I left that out by accident. All right, let's try it now. Yeah, because we weren't respected at all, ladies and gentlemen. We were not respected. We are more respected now than we were then. Yeah, and it's just funny. Well, they had the flags up, but they really didn't want to show. They didn't show the actual military. Do y'all remember how it used to be when it was under Joe Biden? Remember the military? How they were over there and the generals and everything? Yeah, they don't like to show it, but I'm going to find it. Hold on for a minute. I'm going to find it. Yeah, I'm going to find it because this is another thing, right? Let me see here. I think I may have found something though here. Let me see here. Okay. They got music going on here, so you already know. What y'all hearing is a little bit of the music. Let me go ahead on and do this here. We're going to stop that here, and then we're going to play this a little bit. I would love to play the music, but you know. This is Trump's military right now. This is how the men and women of the America might, you know what I'm saying? Look at this here. You know, we got those, look at that. We under Pete Hegseth. The Biden era military, look at this. Love each other, be yourself, you know. Oh my goodness. You know, which one do you want protecting you? Ladies, which one do you want protecting us? Fellas, which group do you want protecting us, you know? Yeah, man, this is the thing, though, boy. Hold on for a minute. Oh, man. Ooh, man. U.S. Navy uses drag queens for recruitment efforts. Oh, my goodness, man. Man, I tell you, man. We are now, ladies and gentlemen, we've been looked up on and being respected all over the world. We can be respected with drag queens and all this other nonsense. I mean, it wouldn't take us serious, you know. It was pissing me off every day. Now we got real men and women fighting. They're being recruited. They're going in and stuff like that. Recruitment levels are high. You know, this is Biden here. Of course, they're going to have to make the cartoon because they don't want to offend nobody. I get it. I get it. I get it. Yep. Let me see here. Yeah, obviously you can tell who this is. You know? Right. Look at this. The pride of our forces, our recruitments. Look at this. This is what I remember when growing up, when men were men and women were women. You know what I'm saying? Boy, on the front lines, man. You know, I get patriotic, you know. Oh, my goodness. Y'all, hold on for a minute. What? Jones, I see that. Oh, man. Look at that midsection. Come on. Are you? Oh, my gosh. Y'all see this? Man. Woo, man. Boy, it look like pronouns coming out of his mouth. Let me see what he's saying, though. Hold on for a minute.
Is celebrating that diversity is our strength as a nation and as an army.
One of the dumbest phrases in military history is our diversity is our strength. Our diversity is not our strength. Our unity and our shared purpose is our strength.
Say it.
God bless you. God bless you.
All right, so hold on for a minute. Say it, Pete Hegseth. Say it. Say it loud. Say it proud. You know what I'm saying? But he's telling the truth, though, you know. Boy, I tell you, man. Let me go ahead and tell you, got some music in there. Oh, yeah. I like the music. I wish I could play it. Yep, look at this. God bless the USA, America, right? Look at it. We got generals, and this is a 4-star general right here, guys. You got to do something to even be a 4-star general, let alone 5-star. Who was the last 5-star general that we have had? Look at his medals, and you got to do something special, man. They just didn't get in there for being a DEI, you know what I'm saying? Oh, stop. No, you had to do something special, right? And here, this is a 4-star. I think the last one we had, I think it was a 4-star too. What about, we also have Colin Powell. Y'all remember Colin? Look at this. Boy, I can't wait to see if I can play it.
Be open-minded and be widely read. And I want to understand white rage, and I'm white.
Well, DEI is not going well at the Defense Department because it's dead.
Yeah, he's right. He's right, boy. You had to do something to be a 4 or 5-star general. You just don't get up in there because of DEI. You got to earn it. Your medals got to be tested, right? Wasn't giving everybody. How you going to give? Remember they were giving everybody out. You get a prize. You get a golden star. You get a golden star. No, you got to earn a golden star. Much as I would like to have a golden star, but you got to earn it. You don't deserve to say, oh, yeah, no. So I'm so glad right now that it's all merit-based, right? Merit-based is what it is, you know. Boy, I tell y'all, man. Yep. And like I got my good friend here, Deontay Rant Raves podcast. Yeah, I see that he changed his logo here, guys.
And you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, there he is right there. Let me give him a little shout out and things like that. So this is Deontay Rant Raves, Deontay Rant Raves podcast show here. You know, I love that Spider-Man over there. I think that is, yeah, you already know Miles, Miles Marsalis or whatever. Yeah, there you go. Yep. So yeah, this is it right here. He got a great podcast show. Me and him did a collab. We're gonna do one again. But yep, there it is, ladies and gentlemen. You can be sure to follow him as well, right? I don't want to cough in your ear. But I don't want to cough in your ear. But yeah, but that's exactly what it is, though, you know. So I just want to say I saw his thing on the timeline. It looked like he went live 8 hours ago. Because he's mainly more in the morning time, though, you know. But yep, that's all good though. Deontay Rant Raves podcast, you know. He's also MAGA. He got his black. I got my black MAGA too. Sometimes when I go dark MAGA mode, I put my dark MAGA hat on and things like that. And I'm gonna actually get myself some more MAGA hats, and I'm gonna be giving them out to my members, you know. But you'll be a member, and this is another reason why you want to be a member. You know what I'm saying? Yes, I do. I know the guy that sells all the MAGA stuff, you know. So, yeah, you know, there we go. So that's Deontay Rant Raves podcast and things like that, you know. So y'all be sure to check him out. He has down in the title, when are the black liberals and Democrats are going to wake up? And that is the age-old question. When are the black liberals and Democrats are going to wake up? That's the thing, though, right? But they've been so used to being a victim for so long. When victimhood, right, lack of accountability and responsibility, and say, give me a fish with your hand out. It's the handout welfare mentality, right, that the Dems created for a lot of the blacks and things in America, right? This is why all others are coming over here leapfrogging, no, because, you know, with the Democrats have had a lot to do with that as well, too. But we have to get down to it. So, yeah, they're going to hold on. 92% black women that vote Democrat. They have a lot, Title IX. They count as a double minority just with black women alone, right? This is a thing. More of them enrolled in college, right? And what else, you know? So the Democrats, when they go in and talk in the black community, they talk to the black women. They don't talk to black men. They look at the black women and children. They look at them as a family. Isn't that something? Man, this is sad, though. But they actually look at them as a family. You're not a family unless you have a husband and a wife and children. Not a mother and children. That's called a broken home, right? We got to go ahead and stop big up in this stuff. Because the ones that are losing are them, right? That's the thing. Single family parent. You know how hard it is to be a woman and to raise children on your own, right? It ain't an easy task. I've been taught this many of times by black women and other women, white and other. Not just black women, but white and other. You know, and what makes it easier, ladies and gentlemen, is when they align themselves with a man, with a husband. I always say, stay in your marriage, right? Go ahead and stay in your marriage. That's the thing about it. You want a lot of this hardship to go away? Learn to work with your husband and stay in your marriage. This ain't no joke being a single mama out here in the streets today. It's not, right? So yes, I just want to show that. Oops, hold on for a minute. I just wanted to show that and things. And let me see here. I think they got some other stuff here on Gavin Knucklehead Newsom. Boy, Trump and then Biden. That's about the best comparison that y'all gonna see here. right here, man. Y'all see this where it says Trump on the left, Biden on the right, right? We got to switch those photos around. They should have had Trump on the right and Biden on the left. I know what you're trying to do. See, they're trying to be slick, right? They are on the left. We are on the right. Look at this, though, boy. I tell you, the difference between weakness and strength, right? All right, let's look at this real quick.
Let me say again, to any country, any organization, anyone thinking of taking advantage of this situation, I have one word: don't. Don't.
Now you're talking about sneaky, dirty, underhanded people because they asked me what I do, and I said, I'm going to bomb the shit out of them. It's true. I don't care. I don't care. They've got to be stopped.
Let me say again, to any country, any organization, anyone thinking of taking advantage of this situation, I have one word: don't.
Don't. Does that sound like it's coming from strength? Oh man, we're not gonna deal with this dude right here, Roly Poly Martin. Oh no, I'm not gonna deal with that dude. No. Bunch of estrogen rolling off this dude. Many of y'all seen him on MSN before he got fired. Remember when it was a MSNBC? He got fired on that TV show. Now he got his own podcast show, you know. Just teaching victimhood, grifting, teaching victimhood. I'm not gonna show that dude. Oh man. Biden reverses transgender military ban. Oh yeah. Remember that? Oh my goodness, man. Back down memory lane. Oh man. It's a photograph. It's a y'all don't know nothing about Minnie Riperton. I ain't gonna even go there, boy. Back down memory lane. Boy, she had them high octaves, didn't she? Oh yeah, okay, this is about that debate. The difference between Trump and Biden. I don't want to hear see that. We already know Trump won that hands down, you know. Oh man. No strength. But let's go ahead and go look at this Gavin Newsom thing again. Boy, I tell you, y'all hear that Tucker Carlson decides that he is no longer supporting who? The Republican Party. There's no brainer on that, though. You know what I'm saying? Of course he's not going to support him anymore, you know? We always said that Tucker Carlson has been bought. In my opinion, he has been bought, ladies and gentlemen. He has been bought and sold out. He don't, talking about because of Trump's stance on Israel. Now, like I said before, seemed like it has a lot to do with Qatar, possibly, somewhere in the Middle East that have paid him handsomely well to basically distance himself from Trump. And I really think so. Candace Owens is on that same boat. Let me see here. Gavin Newsom. Let me see here. I must have to say Newsom. Oh, my goodness. You ought to hear his behind crime victim. Let me see here. Federal audit. Let me see here. Let me see. Let's listen to a little bit of what the black conservative perspective. I like his stuff too.
Congressman Kevin Kiley, he is sounding the alarm in his home state, saying under Governor Gavin Newsom's leadership, it has become the, quote, fraud capital of America.
And we have team coverage. Our national correspondent Alana Austin is on Capitol Hill with more on the investigations into Tim Walz. But we start with correspondent Heather Myers, who has more on what is going on in California. A rainy day out there on the West Coast. Heather, what can you tell us?
Well, good afternoon to you, Katrina and Andrew. This latest report was issued by the state auditor, and that's a nonpartisan position. That state auditor now puts 8 state agencies on the high-risk list of agencies to watch out for things like fraud and mismanagement as well as waste. Here's a look at that 92-page report. Newly added to the high-risk list is California's food stamp program. If the state doesn't get the improper payments under control, it could cost an extra $2.5 billion. Also on there is the Department of Finance, which was tasked with giving out COVID relief funds. Critics say $32 billion of that was taken by fraudsters. Then there are infrastructure issues like California's deteriorating dams and also the high-speed train that's already cost taxpayers $18 billion without a single.
Yeah, y'all remember that high-speed train that they promised in California under Governor Newsom? Boy, this is not looking good for this dude. And as I said earlier, yeah, because with the plea, you know what I'm saying, under, what's it, Dana Williamson? Oh, yeah, that plea deal. Oh, it's not looking good for Gavin at all. Gavin, if you're listening to my channel, it's not looking good. It's not looking good, though, Gavin.
Single section of track complete. Other reports cite
Golden Gate
$24
Bridge.
million spent on the homeless issue that critics claim the state lost track of. More recently, there's a report that says California's.
Look at all these homeless people. You know what I'm saying? Boy, this is just really sad, though. This happened to the greed. They turned California into a welfare state, riddled with crime and violence and drugs and hopelessness, sadnessness. Boy, this is just terrible, isn't it? This is how they're living. This is what you call this. This is going to happen to a city, a blue city near you. You're already seeing this stuff, Colorado. You're already seeing this stuff, right? This is the reminder. If you don't do the right thing come midterms, your city can end up like this one, especially if you're in the blue city. It'll end up like this. It'll end up like this. This is welfare stuff all over again. You know, you already seen remnants in these blue cities, urban cities in the so-called black community. You know what I'm saying? Because it was crime, violence, drugs. Once again, look at this. Look at it.
Cell phone users paid a surcharge for years to upgrade the state's.
Look at this here. And you would think that this is a third world country. No, this is a first world issue. This is in the United States of America. Look at what they have done. These people that live in California, man, shit, I'd be homeless if I was in California making off of myself. I mean, you know what I'm saying? $100,000 don't go a long way in California. They have destroyed the middle class tax base. This, look at
911
this.
system. Here's Congressman Kevin Kiley talking about what happened to that plan.
That after spending $650 million on that system, the state is totally scrapping it and starting over, completely wasting the money because the technology doesn't work. Mind you, we are very close to Silicon Valley in Sacramento, and yet the government can't figure out how to make basic technology perform.
I bet you up there in Silicon Valley, you ain't seeing Tent City. You ain't seeing no crime and violence and drugs, right? You ain't seeing any of this stuff, gangbangers and all the rest of it. It ain't looking like Compton. It ain't looking like South Central. It ain't looking like Modesto and all these other areas, San Bernardino. Up there, up in the Northern California, Mountain View, Cupertino for Apple and all the rest of them. It's beautiful up there, you know what I'm saying? Look at this.
Boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. So once again, I got to talk about some of the things that the Trump administration is doing that they're not getting enough credit for when it comes to some of the doomerism that is happening on the internet and next, right? I mean, if you listen to these clowns, they make you believe that the Trump administration is not doing anything. They're not doing anything to hold Democrats accountable and to go after them. right? Right. But the reality is they're actually doing a lot, okay? And one of the things I've tried to do on this channel is to highlight exactly what they're doing, because nobody else is really doing it at the level that I'm doing it. But I'm going to keep doing it because I think stuff like this matters, right? There were a lot of things
I wouldn't
that
say
Republicans did in the big, beautiful bill that they're not getting credit for, which I guess kind of makes sense when you consider the fact that there was a lot of stuff in the big, beautiful bill, but because it was one piece of legislation, it seems as if Republicans haven't done anything when they actually did everything that they wanted to do in one bill, right? They just got it done in one go. And I don't think they're getting enough credit for what they actually did. There are a lot of things in that bill. And one of the things that conservative voters should appreciate is the fact that Republicans have gotten serious under the Trump administration on cracking down on waste, fraud, and abuse that is happening in these blue states. We've talked about Minnesota, Minneapolis. Tim Walz currently faces a whole lot of backlash from his own constituents and mayors across the state.
And let me just cut in a little bit, because what's going on in California with Gavin Newsom, we already know Tim Walz is, I mean, that's why he ain't going to rerun again. He's already through. You know what I'm saying? There's people that's turning evidence, state evidence on this dude. Talking about tampon Tim balls to the walls, you know? It's just a matter of time, ladies and gentlemen. It's just a matter of time. We are seeing this crime, violence, drugs, waste, and abuse. Man, I tell you, this is really, really bad. The people that worked under Waltz, just like with Gavin Knucklehead Newsom, right? When we talked about Dana Williamson, right? Took a plea deal, right? And we already know when you take a plea deal, you're going to be singing like a bird, boy. Singing. Boy, I tell you, man. Singing, right?
For the waste, fraud, and abuse that he allowed, that he participated in under his watch. Now we have to go out to California, okay? Gavin Newsom, the most progressive governor that we currently have. And he is the Democrat Party frontrunner as of right now. So it seems him and Kamala, I mean, they're both from the same state. So they're basically the same.
You already know both of them ain't gonna make it, especially Gavin Newsom. They're not gonna make it, because we already went over this earlier. But I just wanted to show a little bit. You know, we went over this earlier in regards to this stuff. Look at this stuff. California, right? Let's go on and read it. Social services potentially faces billions in new costs due to federal SNAP policy changes, right? This is why Newsom wrote a law saying that you are not allowed to go in California and do your own investigating. It's called the Nick Shirley bill, for those that forgot, right? Because if Gavin Newsom was innocent, he would not have created this damn law, right? It's called the Nick Shirley law, right? California's Social Service Agency faces potential billions in new costs due to federal SNAP policy changes, risking $2.5 billion in frauding loss, right? Gavin Knucklehead Newsom probably figured that he would never get caught. He got boys up in Capitol Hill. He got fellas. He knows all the attorneys, the AGs, everybody in California, right? It's just one of these big syndicates, right? And then look at it. Since Dana Williamson got popped last year, look at it, as far as being arrested, right? And then she took the plea deal, right? Just like they're taking the plea deal. People are in Minnesota, they're coming out. They're actually giving their statement in regards to what happened, the whistleblowers and everything from waste, fraud, and abuse that has been going on, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, my goodness, man. That's why I say, though, this thing is, you might as well say signed, sealed, and delivered, you know, because the evidence is so compelling against these fools, right? And it ain't just the only ones. Arizona is going in Colorado, right? Look at it. Ohio, Michigan, they're all in trouble. Right? Oh, what about Chicago, Illinois? A lot of them are in trouble. New York. Oh my goodness, man. When is the wage fraud and abuse is going to stop? It's going to stop because Trump is already on it. They got eyes in the sky and they're watching everything. They have a surmisable amount of evidence against these people, and it's just a matter of time because we do know indictments take time. Stuff is being compiled. There's grand juries, which is secret grand juries that are looking at the evidence that is compiling, ladies and gentlemen. Let's go and play what what conservative, black conservative have to say.
Politician at this point, two con artists. But anyways, they are now facing a crackdown, okay, due to some of the provisions in the big, beautiful bill after a bombshell audit, okay? A independent auditor, so this is nonpartisan, basically exposed the waste, fraud, and abuse within California's social services system that could potentially cost them billions of dollars due to some of the provisions in the big, beautiful bill. So let's read here, and then we're going to get more into some of this fraud. California Social Services Agency could be on the hook for billions of dollars in new costs under federal changes to the nation's food assistance program in the one big, beautiful bill, prompting the state auditor to label the department a high-risk agency. In the report, the California state auditor highlighted that the California Department of Social Services could lose $2.5 billion in federal funding under a new federal policy for the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, which was changed under the One Big Beautiful Bill and shifts portion of the funding from the federal government to the states, aka states are now being held accountable for what they're doing with the funds. Right?
Yeah, as they should. And they want to sit up here and blame Trump. It's your people on the left that's creating this situation. Waste, fraud, and abuse came strictly from the left. And the only thing about it is that we're saying, well, you're supposed to be doing all these wonderful things. You promise us this, which is this billion-dollar multi-rail system or whatever it's supposed to be. What is it? So many million or billion? How much? I forget how much it is. I think it's so many million, right? It never saw the light of day because they pocketed the money, right? And a lot of the stuff with COVID and all that, y'all remember this stuff. It's a scam and a sham. They know it. They know it over there in Washington. They already know this stuff. They just sent the agents out over there. And then they want to block out from the voter rolls, right? They don't want us looking at these particular cities. I think it's like 5 of them, right? When it come down to wage, fraud, and abuse. They don't want us looking at the voter rolls. Let's go ahead and go on further.
If they are not accurately keeping track of the funds, they get punished, right? They lose funding. Again, this is accountability. Something that, again, you don't really see too much of conservatives on X actually highlighting these things that is forcing Democrats to clean up their states, right?
Yeah, and I agree with him. Said the same thing. And this should be said more. I agree with him. We're talking about accountability and responsibility, ladies and gentlemen. This is what black conservative perspective is saying. I'm saying it. A lot of us are sounding alarm on this stuff. Brian Maxwell.
Actually, use our tax dollars responsibly. So with that being said, because of these potential penalties, you have politicians from California, representatives, they're now sounding the alarm on all of the fraud that has been discovered that is happening in the state that came out during this audit. Take a look.
California state auditor, the nonpartisan official auditor for the state, has just released a report that updates its assessment of the state's high-risk agencies. And the contents of this report are truly stunning. Not really that stunning, actually, for those of us who have experienced the California state government at work. But even given our very low expectations, what the auditor has just reported is truly troubling. And this comes, by the way, as our state's governor, Gavin Newsom, has recently boasted that California is the original Doge. Newsom held out California government as a model of, quote, efficient, responsive, and accountable government.
And none of us believe that crap. This is what Gavin Newsom had to say, talking about he said California is the Department of Government Efficiency in California. He said California is Doge. And where all this waste, fraud, and abuse at, knucklehead Newsom, I've seen people that are homeless, right? They have lost their wealth and things, high taxes, high crime, and so forth. Come on now. You can't even make this. A lot of the businesses, tech companies have lost. I mean, we already call in Austin, Texas as a new Silicon Valley, right? They all hightailed it out of there because the taxes were too surmisable, man. Nobody's gonna pay high taxes as a corporation when another state can pay it cheaper, right? And right now that was it Texas, right? They're gonna treat them better in Texas, right? They're gonna get the tax breaks in Texas. They're not gonna get them in California. California it's just sad. They're destroying California, ladies and gentlemen. And California is a beautiful state. I want to root for California. It's a I've been out there. It's been a long time, but I've been there, right? And I know it's beautiful, right? It's all outdoorsy and things, San Diego and things. You can go to different parts and stuff like that. Enjoy a fat burger, you know what I'm saying? Man, they got a lot of attract sites out there, man. Santa Monica, Santa Barbara, you know. What's that? Ventura, all these places over there, you know. I said from Sacktown, from Bay Area and back down. California showed me love, you know. Black guy, nah, that. Oh, man. Boy, I tell you, man. I couldn't help but say that one, though.
So in this new report, which is issued annually, the auditor identifies high-risk state agencies. What does that mean? It means they pose a substantial risk of serious detriment to the state or its residents. To be considered high risk, an agency must not only exhibit serious waste, fraud, abuse, or mismanagement, but must also have failed to take adequate corrective action. So in this new report, the auditor has identified 8 separate California agencies as high risk.
Oh my goodness.
4 of those 8 have joined the club, this dubious distinction, during the Newsom administration, including the newly added this year Department of Social Services.
Don't leave out Karen Big Mouth Bass. She also has a lot to do with this as well. I'm talking about that black big mouth bass, you know.
Among the findings as to why these various agencies are considered high risk are that massive payment errors in our CalFresh program could now cost the state $2.5 billion in federal funds.
That's a lot.
With Medi-Cal eligibility, ongoing problems in determining who's eligible, continuing to make payments, say to people who don't meet the income threshold or who have left the state entirely, is also putting billions of dollars at risk. Continued fraud and overpayment with our uninsurance benefits, or rather the unemployment benefit, insurance benefits, are costing the state, continue to cost the state billions of dollars. This, of course, after the massive $32 billion fraud in unemployment benefits during the COVID years. Incredibly, the state has missed 6 straight deadlines for its annual comprehensive financial report, which puts in jeopardy our credit rating as well as federal funding. The auditor's report documents IT projects that languish for months, for years, as antiquated systems beleaguer our bureaucracy. This despite Silicon Valley being a stone's throw away. You have state entities that continue to, quote, fall short of minimum standards for information security, for cyber security, putting our state, our data, our privacy at risk. But alarmingly, it is more than just cybersecurity. It's also the security of our physical infrastructure. For instance, the auditor finds that there are 49 dams that pose, quote, an extremely high hazard to life and property. And it's getting worse. In just the last 2 years, the number of dams rated either poor or unsatisfactory has increased by 73%.
Wow, I'm
Yeah, that's amazing. But
shocked. Pikachu face, right? Pikachu face that Democrats,
Pika.
liberals, are bad at governing, right? That they're running
They really are. It's like what he's saying.
their
Go ahead.
states into the ground.
Yes,
yeah,
sir.
I'm not shocked at all.
Me neither.
This is par for the course, okay, when it comes to how Democrats run their states. What you can expect are high taxes, overregulation, businesses leaving, residents leaving. You can expect massive waste, fraud, and abuse, illegal immigrants. This is what you sign up for. High crime as well, too. Yeah, this is what you sign up for when you have your state be run by Democrats for decades and decades and decades, right? With no accountability whatsoever in regards to what they do with tax dollars, right? But accountability is now here, okay, thanks to the big, beautiful bill. Again, that's why you have so much attention and focus on this stuff, is because of the fact that that bill is designed to clean up a lot of this waste, fraud, and abuse that is happening in these blue states and these blue cities. So without further ado, let's actually tune into this news clip on News Nation covering more of the waste, fraud, and abuse that is actually happening in Los Angeles.
$2.3 billion sent to LA County over 4 years is completely unaccounted for. That's $2.3 billion.
Look at this. Look at this. This is America. This is over here in California. Look at what they've been taking, and look at these people that got to live in squalor. Look at this. This is in the first world. Are you serious? Nobody else is really talking about this. This is supposed to be somewhere in California. Look at this. Look.
That could have been used to clean up this, or find housing for people who live like
this.
Or to fix this part of Venice Beach, where people own million-dollar homes but are too afraid to walk their dog.
This is Venice Beach. Look at that.
Because of this. There have already been 2 indictments linked to his probe, but U.S. Attorney Bill Asaley says there are a lot more to come. I spoke with him earlier. Bill, how long has this kind of fraud been going on? I mean, the homeless issue in Southern California is a massive issue. Taxpayers have forked over tens of millions, if not hundreds of millions of dollars to fix it, and people are stealing it?
It's unbelievable, and it's probably been going on for a very long time, but unfortunately no one's really looked at it until recently. Before this position.
Because as I always say, when criminals protect criminals, they weren't going to look at this stuff before. This is why they were so comfortable doing what they were doing, waste, fraud, and abuse. They were comfortable doing it because this is a criminal syndicate. That's exactly what it is. That's exactly what it is, ladies and gentlemen. This is why we have this issue here, right?
I was in the state legislature, and we would ask a lot of questions about the billions of dollars being spent every year to solve homelessness, and we can all see with our eyes and ears that it wasn't being solved, and the money wasn't going to the people who needed it most.
Look at this, how people
living.
living.
One of the first things I did after being...
Are you kidding me? Whoa, my goodness. What the... Man, I tell you. So, yeah, that's enough of that. I just want to share a little bit of that with you guys, though, you know. But, yeah, it just goes back into what I was talking about earlier, right? Man, look at this. Look at this. We also, what's it, exactly, Clayton, let me see here. Let me go in, man, I'm so behind in the comments and stuff. Boy, I appreciate you guys for being on here, man. But, yeah, this is exactly what I need a beer right now after all this info. I know Big John, right? I'm just over here catching up. We got Mr. T2 is in here. I got Kindle with with like 1,000 graphic novels. I hope to read someday. Got the career, what do you got here? Got the career in women now. So right now, no time to read. I understand. I totally understand that, you know. I make time to read, though, I do. But yeah, this is crazy, though, ladies and gentlemen. You see how California and all these other, the liberals left, the low-down liberal left, they are so bad, not that they're bad in mismanaging funds. You guys got to understand it's much bigger than that. It's a criminal operation. It was designed to mismanage funds. They were taking it off of the top, right? This is what they do. This is what criminals do. Criminals do this all the time, ladies and gentlemen, and they are no different, right? Look at the blue cities. Look at what they're doing. They're all in cahoots with each other, right? This is exactly what it is, though, man. These are criminals protecting criminals, right? When you write laws to protect your best interests, and that's what Gavin Knucklehead Newsom already did, right? He called it the Nick Shirley bill, right? Which is what I believe believe he got it passed, but he don't want the voter rolls either to be looked at, to be challenged, because they have something to hide, right? And it's their civility. It's their what we call their criminal system that they have set up for themselves. Look at all that homelessness. Look at the poverty. Look at crime, right? And violence and so much. Man, there's so many things going on in California. Certain parts. It ain't all California, but it's certain areas, key areas, right? Where they taking it, they have to steal more money now. But Trump and them in the government is not going to give them those what we call the funds that they need, because every time they did it before, look what was happening. Way before Trump, this has been going on, right? The government gives these states, right, funding for them for these programs, these set aside government incentives that wasn't going to the people. It was going right into their pocket. Obviously, man, this is so sad and bad that we have this system that they call system, man. It's terrible, man. It really is. That's why I say Gavin Knucklehead Newsom will have those silver bracelets on his wrist, because there's already been a plea deal. That woman is singing. Dana Williamson is singing like a bird. She pretty much have told them everything, how the system is set up, how the system is ran, how it's being governed. You know what I'm saying? So therefore, they are in serious trouble. Tim Watson's in trouble. You know what I'm saying? A lot of these mayors and governors are in trouble, right? And they know it. That's why they try to stay the course. Push back as much as you can. They say that big bad Trump, they're being weaponized. They're going after us because we speak out. That's what Gavin Newsom is saying. It's just not true. Boy, I tell you. Look at this. Boy, I tell you. So yes, sir, this is exactly what's going on, man. Why do we have Democrats again, right? Because right now, I know with this, the country is in the process of healing, right? And it's going to take time, because there has been a big massive web that has been created under this criminal organization that we call the syndicate, right? We got a lot of unelected officials that are involved in this at the higher level as well. And this is where we start going further. We start talking about the deep state, parasitical elite class, globalists. There's a lot of unelected officials, right, that have created these sanctuary cities as well. They were being protected. And when you protect your interests, right, is for a long time, right? I mean, on the upload, it's saying, yeah, we care about this and that and children welfare. Look at Minnesota. It ain't just Minnesota. California is even bigger than Minnesota when it come down to the wage fraud and abuse. Purposely, right? And we got some people that was set up in the middle. They set the Somalis up, you know what I'm saying, to beat it. But we already know, you got to look past that. The Somalis wouldn't have been in that, be able to set this sophisticated organization up, crime syndicate up on their own. They're not that smart, right? But however, they will take the money. They will have a front business like Nick Shirley and Nick Soros and so forth have already exposed what was going on in these particular cities, in these states, right? Which is no good. All the evidence is compiling now. It's coming out, right? So whether these people, excuse me, agree or disagree, right? And the ones that disagree, because we pretty much know where they are. These are the knuckle draggers, right? They do the bidding on the left. Remember, they want to accuse me of getting paid. Trump don't pay me. I do this on my own. This is why we are called patriots, because we love America. And we're going to speak up, and we're going to tell the truth. And that's exactly what it is. Versus with them on the left, they are paid, right? They advocate and they're being paid, right? To miss and cause confusion. This is what we call control opposition. They are being controlled, even with Tucker and all them, and Megyn Kelly, as I mentioned before, Candace Owens, right? What's the name? Alex Jones, right? Nick Fuentes, right? These are the people, right? These are the people that they have put money on. They might put money on me. I could just look at Trump's policies and see how his policies and what Trump has done to stop them has been better than what was going on with the left. Look at what they were doing. They're about to hand everything over to China. Trump stopped that as well, too. They were in the process of making China a superpower, right? And look at, we will all have to deal with China, right? When it come down to our energy, right? When it come down to many things. They had China set up as the new America, right? Trump stopped that, right? He stopped that and he reversed that, right? Trump, and for him getting involved with the Iran thing, China was getting that oil from Iran for very, very cheap, while everybody else were paying high amount of dollars, right? Because the parasitical elite class set it up this way for, therefore, that China will exceed everyone else. This is the plan, man. It was designed to be this way. So therefore, just by talking about this stuff, and now that a lot of us are educated on this stuff, and they know, it's just to be a matter of time before you, like Obama, you'll see Gavin Newsom in the silver bracelets and many others. Him and his wife got a lot of explaining to do, right? Because there has been people that are turning on these people, right? That's what it is. They're singing like a bird, man. And now that they're singing like a bird and they're saying, okay, well, this is what we found, they're going into the records and stuff and so forth. But there's the thing, though, man. They cannot stop this, right? They are upset. They are worried and scared. And one thing I ain't never been worried about, because I've been worried about black folks because they have been married to the Democrats, right? They're going to see their precious Obama in silver bracelets. Look, like I said before, just like with Gavin Newsom and everyone else, right? That's on the left. The left is dying in this country, right, with their BS politics and never served the American people at all. You are seeing criminals, ladies and gentlemen, criminals at the highest level, right? They never thought that this would happen to them, right? There that is. So, ladies and gentlemen, I'm saying that we are in a better situation now than we ever have been before. Like, we got Man USA in the house. Shout out to you, Man USA. Boy, I tell you, we are in a better situation now than we ever have been before. We got Kim Solomon in the house as well. Thank you very much for showing up, Kimberly. Got Kimberly in the house, Kimberly Solomon. All right. So there that is, though, man. You know, we right now are in a better situation than we ever have been before, right? And we don't need any liberals trying to convince us over here that's MAGA and moderate that there's an enemy greater than these knuckleheads that we're dealing with. They trying to convince you. They have lies. I destroy their narrative every time I wear my Trump hat. In fact, I got to go put my photo back up that I had before, because this is what it's all about. It's about destroying their narratives, ladies and gentlemen. They are the liars, the cheats, right? The ones that back this up. And things like that try to set up a two-tier system of government, right? Of rules, right? That's why I love putting this up for my trolls, of course, right? Let them marinate on that, right? That's why you see those red hats that's in my room. Some of those are members. And you get that when you become a member and many more, right? This is what you get, right? So therefore, you can't stop it. Look at those red MAGA hats. And then look at them showing up in the room. A lot of people are rocking with Trump. They don't rock with you, right? They don't rock with a phony, false, pussy leadership, right? That's stealing money from the American people. We don't rock like that. You know what I'm saying? You got to educate more. You want to sit up here and talk about how bad Trump is. You don't even know any of Trump's policies. We do. You don't. You don't even know Obama's policies, right? You don't know Biden policies. Over here, we know all their policies. And the best policies that we have is Trump. And I'm unapologetically, when it comes down to supporting Trump, I don't give a damn of what any liberal has to say or think, right? You can't convince me otherwise, that Donald J. Trump is the best president that we ever had in my lifetime, right? Because we truly voted for a champion. We didn't vote for a liar that steal money, weak on leadership, wage war against our country, right? And prop up our enemies. Everybody was first and America is last, right? According to Trump, and according to the Patriots, America is first and the illegals are last. And you better get used to it, because that's exactly how it is, right? You are not in the place of power. You are not going to win the midterms. I don't care how much you try to push back against the American Save Act. It's going to go through. Trump still has some options on there. We're going to get rid of Buffoon, the Thune. We're going to get him out of there too, right? Because we don't need no more rhinos, right? The rhinos are nothing but pussy liberals on the left. They don't mean America any good. They mean them very much harm. If you don't stand with America, that means you are treason. You are against America, right? And you should be dealt with as well, right? No longer are we going to be putting up with this nonsense, right? We go by the Constitution. We go by the law over here, right? Something that the Dems don't do. They got to lie, cheat, and steal in order for them to be in a position. And many of these knuckle draggers that's not even getting paid for this though, right? But you still rah-rah for the left. It makes no sense. Tell me what the left have done for you other than welfare, right? Other than crime and violence and drugs in your community. What has the left done for you? That's the question, right? That's the question. It ain't about what Trump done for us. It's about what the left have done for you. I've showed you in so many times of what a Democrat welfare city as well as a state looks like. In this case, it's more of a city. The welfare cities of the United States are slum, right? They're ghetto, they're violent, right? With drugs and crime and underserved communities, all coming from the left. And the left people that are against us in this room, they can't even debate with me with these facts, right? I would eat them up every single time, right? They don't have a defense for this. What the hell am I gonna vote for being a liberal when I'm not getting nothing from it, right? I grew up in the black community, in the hood, right? Where crime, violence, and drugs was prevalent. And I never seen a BLM, I never seen a white liberal ever come down in the black community talking about we got to stop this. No, they didn't even care. It was like two Americas, one black, one white, right? One rich, one poor. That's exactly what was going on, right? This was going on for a long time, right? That's why we call cap is what the young people call it with this BLM stuff. Right? George Floyd stuff. It wasn't real because George Floyd's happened a lot, right? Back then, I'm talking about black on black crime, 92%. They were cooking the books with the DOJ and the FBI. We know this. Now we got the real statistics out, right? Why you ain't know that before? Because a criminal organization does not want you to know the real statistics on police brutality, black on black crime, black on white and white on black. They don't want you. They don't want those statistics out because it destroys their narrative. So what have they done? They put the phony statistics out there to get the weak-minded blacks, whites, and others, get them convinced as they're already a victim, right? They don't offer nothing. There's nothing strength coming from them. Look at the men. The men are being led by single-family households, right? This is why it makes them weak and pussies, right? 92%, right, of our black community are Democrat, right? Facts. And this is more of the women, right? The women had to say so. The women control those brothers, right? And if they don't abide by for what the black women say, guess what? They are ostracized. They are cut off. I'm telling you the truth, right? This is exactly, see, they don't want to talk. They don't want to deal with that. That's why I don't take a lot of these guys that come in my room on the left serious, especially the black guys. They're a lot of pussies, right? Because they don't deal in the real reality of what's really going on. These are pussies in the room. They know it too. They know they bend the knee to the black female, right? Instead of the way they're supposed to be. No other community, they follow their men. The men don't follow the woman. What's wrong? What's up with that? So I call you out on it. If you got a problem with that, you should take that problem up with you. That's the problem. They chose welfare over their man. That's why we have the problems. This was a Democrat system, welfare system. I'm giving blacks as an example of what they did in California. Same old thing. We're seeing this in real time, right? They don't have a defense to it at all. They really don't. They're just crying, victimhood babies that come into the room. That's where's my baby sound at? Because this is exactly what it is. Most of these guys are not taken seriously. You don't take a man seriously when he's been raised to be a punk or a little baby. You don't, I mean, real women like real men. They don't want no punk of a man, sissy man, emotional man. They want a real man. This is the reason why a lot of liberal men struggle with women. This is what the whole red pill, right? The manosphere, all the rest of the stuff. That's what they do. They get over here and hate women. It's bad enough as it is. But look at this. This is what they be doing. This is the problem. Can a brother cook? Right? And this is what they be doing with the white liberals too. You know, you got them that kowtow and bow down to their women too. That's why they don't take them seriously. You can't take nobody seriously for that type of stuff. You know, God put you as the man, as a leader in the head. You're supposed to read your Bible, know that. You want to sit up here and run Democrat policies and liberalism. That's a tool created by the devil. No wonder we losing, right? They've got some straight up men. I didn't vote for Trump to be nice. I voted for him because of his policies. And he is a better fit for America, to America, and by America, right? That's why we deal with Trump. And you got to deal with it, right? Because you ain't getting in power no more. We already hip to a lot of your games. You are not going to win. You're going to lose. And you black men better start waking up. You better start getting your balls back. You better start being the man that you were meant to be by God. Because right now, you're looking very, very unfamiliar to me, right? Just like the rest of the men that rock with the left, showing how feminine you are, man. Ain't nothing masculine by being no damn liberal. Look at him over here, man. Facts. That's what Texas Jane says. Thank you, Texas Jane. We got to go ahead and do some barbecuing on these brothers and others, right? Because they haven't had a real man in their life. Man, I would love to take a country ass whooping to them. That means you take all the clothes off and you just go to work with the hickory stick, right? Whoop they behind like they never, because that's really what it is. Be beat into submission, right? Because that's what has to happen, man. You know, we ain't vote for Trump to be nice. What kind of man? Oh, I want him to be nice. You a man. You ain't supposed to be over here talking about a man being nice to you. You ain't no female. You ain't no woman. You a man. Take your leadership and be in charge and stop being controlled and led by a woman. That's your problem, man. Right? I'm talking about black, white, and other. If you don't want what happened to you like it did in the black community, you better wake up. You better wake up. They're not going to come back from this being a victim. Oh, the big bad Trump. Oh, my goodness. Oh, he's taking all our rights away. Oh, beta. Yes, exactly what it is, though, you know. It's a beta mentality, though. These people, boy, and they just cry babies. All they do is cry all the time. Black Guy 9 said, cook, Tony. You know I was going to get to cooking. I always love the barbecue. I love to cook. So other than that, though, if I got to be the father to some of you that never had one, you know, I get it. But you got a lot of male mentors around here, man, telling it like it is. You know, you don't get no cooking. I want him nice. What the hell? Oh, he want him nice. Oh, the Trump, the big bad Trump, the big bad Trump. Oh, my God, the Trump. But you know what, John? You got to deal with it, John, because you sounding like a victim. You sound like a pussy. And it's about time that a real man get in your ASS. And that's what it's about. You know, getting in your ASS. Look at these wussies and these wimps and simps. Look at them. That's why they have with female problems. A lot of these guys come from the red pill community. You know what I'm saying? Tony is cooking again. That's right, Big John. I'm cooking, man. And I do it quite well, man, because they come from this manosphere, this red pill community type of stuff. They hate women, right? They don't know how they're incels. They're in the basements of their mama and everything. And they don't like they're not used to dealing with no real strong alpha male, alpha men. Alpha male and alpha men don't have no problems with women. It's beta males and gamma and all the rest of them do. That's why they have a problem. So they get on their room and look at them, the little pussies that they are, instead of getting this real man stuff. You get this real man training or whatever. If you don't want to be, you want to be respected, nobody respects a boy. You want to sit up in here and play PlayStation and all the rest of these type of stuff, instead of getting out here and getting to work. And I'm saying this to black, white, and other. It ain't just one exclusive, right? You don't get no respect playing PlayStation and all this stuff. You get out here and go to work. Stop being a victim. If you want things to change, you have to change it. Stop looking for the government to give you handouts for some nothing. That's stupid, right? It's two things with the Democrat and Republican mindset. Democrats believe in just giving them a fish, right? Versus a Republican man's mindset. We teach you how to fish. And when you learn how to fish, you eat for a lifetime. When you give in a fish, you only eat for one day. This is the problem with their mentality and their thinking. They butt hurt because I'm telling them the God-given truth. Look at them. They are look at them bent out of shape. They hate the fact that real man is telling them real truth, right? That's the problem. Something that they never, because many of them don't have no daddies. They don't have no fathers in the home, especially in the black community. They don't have no father. 72% of black women are single with children. They don't have a black man. They don't have a father in the home. This is why they go out and go to crime, violence, drugs, gang activity. It's easy for them to do it because they are looking for a father figure. They are looking for a male direction, even though they're getting it misdirection. But I'm telling them the truth, right? Because this is the thing that has to happen. This is how it is. If you want to sit up here and be a victim all your life, instead of being a man and going out here and going to work and taking care of your family, many of you have children. When have you been a father to your child, right? This is the thing. And I know these guys, especially these brothers, that's why they say they don't like this truth, but you're going to get it anyway, because that means that I'm getting to your nerve. Right? Because if you wasn't bothered by it, you wouldn't respond to it. If it don't apply, you would have said, if it don't apply, let it fly. You would have let it fly. But I can tell when I get to these brothers and others, right? They are under the female skirt tail, right, of a woman, right? That they don't stand on their own. They kowtow and bow down to a woman. And this is the reason as to why that they are not loved or respected. Nobody's going to love you until you start loving on yourself and start having discipline and being the man that you were meant to be, right? Shoot. This is the problem. This is the mentality coming from the left. The left have created this old pansy thing. Sissies, pansies coming from men, right? They got to go out here and get a knife instead of putting them things up like how we used to do, right? Like Friday, you win some, you lose some, right? But they were never taught this. Pick up a weapon. Look at Carmelo Anthony, right? He is in prison for 30 years, taking a life, right? Look at what happened. The Metcalf family is sick right now, right? They took a life of a young man. These are children. And you mean to tell me that you that much of a punk that you got to take a knife to school instead of throwing those things up? You ain't never been, some of y'all ain't never been in a real physical fight. You just run off at the mouth like a female. And this is the reason why we don't respect you, especially on the left. Because had he would have been a Republican, had he would have been conservative, he would have already knew how to throw those things, right? And I'm talking about with the fist. Not no gun or no knife. That don't make you a man. That makes you a punk, right? That's why when he's on the inside, do you know he's marked for death when he goes into prisons? He got to deal with the Aryan Brotherhood when he goes into prison in Texas. You know this. For somebody that ain't never been in prison. He got to deal with these groups, right? He ain't gonna do it alone. He may not survive, right? Because he didn't have a father. And you know who I blame? It's the mama, right? The single mama that set his son up for failure, right? And somebody got to tell you the truth, and I'm telling the truth, right? Because if we had more stand-up black men, he wouldn't be in prison today, right? That's facts. That's facts. So who do I blame? It is the mama. It is the single parent, right? That's the problem. That's the problem. And you're not going to get away from this, right? That's the problem. Jasmine Hood Rat Crockett talking about, oh, just a little knife. It pierced the heart of that young man, and that's why that man ain't here today. You that much of a punk that you got to pick up a weapon, right? And I know, look at them. Punks and sissies, boy. They got to pick up a weapon. Look at them. You ain't got no debate against that, huh? You ain't got nothing to say against that, huh? All you're going to say is, instead of taking accountability and responsibility, right? That's what it is. I don't care about your feelings. Fuck your feelings. I don't care about your facts. F your facts. It's all about emotions to me, and it's coming from you. We over here speaking facts, and you over here with your emotions. I don't care about your emotions. F your emotions, right? This is facts. F your emotions. I'm over here outraged of all these pussies that's showing up in my room, especially the black ones. Boy, I tell you, beta males. Beta! You know what I'm saying? You ain't gonna never get the respect from me. You get my respect when you going out here and going to work, taking care of your family, paying the bills, instead of sitting up here smoking weed and playing PlayStation, right? Every conflict, you got to know how to diffuse a conflict. You don't go out here and just escalate one. Shoot, taking a life. That brother got to live with what he did for the rest of his life. Prison going to be hard for that brother. And your mama ain't going to protect you now that you on the inside. Your mama is not going to protect you in general population. She's not going to protect you. You ain't got no family in there like that, right? And I want this to be known for any other of these young brothers. When you want to pick up a weapon and take a life, there is consequences, right? There is consequences. Because that brother is marked, right? That's what they don't tell you. That brother is marked. Boy, I tell you. So there that is, ladies and gentlemen, as I digress. I had to get into some of these old pussy young boys that don't have no damn father. And the reason why I can tell a lot of them don't have no father, because they are bothered about the words that I say, right? A real man know that if it don't apply, let it fly. They not upset about it. You know, had he would have had a real man in their life, right, they would have said, yeah, his brother is right. You know, I had my father. He told me this, taught me that. You know what I'm saying? But they didn't have their fathers. They had their mamas. They take on their emotions like a woman. That's why they're over here now. Oh, shut up. They do all this stuff. They act like a female. They act like a woman. All emotional, all hot and bothered. It's all about their feelings, not about facts, right? This is what they learn, just like the Democrat Party. We go ahead and put fear in, you know. Brother got to come to school with a knife. Right? I would have slapped that knife out of his hand. You gonna fight, you gonna go down there and throw them things is what you gonna do, right? You ain't gonna go use no knife. You get your ass whooped. Hey, that's just how it go. You win some, lose some. You get better the next time, right? That's the thing about it. But tell me if I'm lying and if I'm wrong. You know what I'm saying? So I gotta go ahead and end this live stream though. Got to help mama, right? Boy, I said it, you know. And then here's this one, another black female here. Oh, this man is lost. You the problem. You over here condoning this stuff. You the problem. Hold on for a minute, ladies and gentlemen. Hold on for a minute. I got some cooking I got to do on her. You stay right there. You old hair hat hooligan, you. Stay right there. I'll be right back, y'all. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I apologize about that. Had to take care of something. Everybody got a mama. Let me go ahead and put myself back up here. So that's the thing about it, though. I wanted to talk about, because like I said, we can disagree on some stuff, but the problem is that they are upset. That's why they come in this room, though, you know? And when I do the cooking, ladies and gentlemen, I cook, and I appreciate all the likes and love, though, too. You know, because a lot of you guys that's liking it, it had to be said, right? Because if it was said more often, and if we had like, let's say some type of accountability, right? Because a parent is not, or actually a family is not a family when you don't have a father and a mother. It's just a broken home. And that's what we have too much of. We have too many broken homes, right? That's leading to a lot of the problems that we have right now. This teen takeover stuff, we already know what that's all about, because once again, we have too many single family units, right? I wanted to address that too. I've been meaning to get on these teen takeover stuff, because if they had a daddy or a father, we wouldn't go for it. You know what I'm saying? We really wouldn't. They should have their ASS at home, not after hours, especially after 8 p.m. is too young to be out here roaming the streets, right? This is the problem, right? So to what's her name? Is Sharonee. And see, this is the problem. I'm gonna put her up right here though. Not as a dachshund, but I'm addressing her right now, and that's why I put her up. The problem with her, you can tell she don't have a daddy. That's the problem. If she had a daddy, and a daddy to protect her, and she would have been grown up with discipline, right? She wouldn't be talking the way that she's talking. This sassy mouth and slick mouth type of stuff, it would not even happen. See, I'm a real man. Like we have a lot of real men in the house. But what they're used to, that's why they have the low level of disrespect, especially coming from black women. Young black women do not have respect for black men, nor do they have respect for older black men, old enough to be her daddy. But we don't get the respect that we have. You know why? Because having a man in a home is alien to them. They don't respect something that they don't know. You only respect something that they know. You know what I'm saying? Because they really don't even respect their mama, to keep it for real, right? It's all about them want to set their own rules up and do whatever they want. You ain't going to set your own rules up and do whatever you want. There's accountability. There's consequences to that type of stuff, right? They are the ones, though, right? So they come in here, and like I said before, I done dealt with these trolls before. This is why I go hard as I do, right? Somebody got to do it. You know what I'm saying? That's it. They know I got one of the hottest shows on here, though, and I don't hold it up, right? I don't bend to the knee. I don't bend to the knee of what we call, what they want to try to run that stuff, black cold stuff. See, they call me what they call a cold breaker. Not for the black cold. F the black cold. The black cold never got us anywhere, right? That's why they got all this black fatigue. I don't even call it black fatigue. It's called black outrage. That's the way I would call it. You know what I'm saying, Black Guy 9? I call it black outrage because I'm outraged of what's been going on in these community groups, right? This is what it is.
Beta!
And they produce these type of men that women don't want.
Beta!
Right? That's what they do, right? Every time I see a single mama with her child, you know how hard it's going to be, especially for a man and a woman. You know, it's like Chris Rock said, as a man's responsibility for his daughter to make sure to keep his baby off the pole, right? Because we already know with a lack of father, what's it, daddy issues, the chances of her getting on that pole, you know what I'm saying? Getting on that pole, you know? That's what they all know how to do, right? If they ain't on no OnlyFans, they'll be on that pole, right? This is a modern day money maker thing right there. That's what, I tell you, man. Can your boy cook? You know I'm cooking though, right? Cooking, right? And I appreciate it though, guys. I really do.
Can we get to 100 likes?
Yeah, we
Let's
already
go,
got
MAGA.
it. That's the wrong one. We already over that. You know what I'm saying? Boy, I tell you, boy. Ain't this something, boy? So they come in here crying, upset. This is what the Democrats created. They created this type of lack of accountability, responsibility, being a victim, shaming, blaming, and want to be right. This is what they teach. This is what they are. Boy, you know what I'm saying? Somebody got to get in their butt. There's a life that was lost, right? The Metcalf family will never be the same, boy. That's the thing about it, though, man. And this is sad, though. This is really sad. This is what they teach, right? Look at this, man.
What the?
This is what they teach.
The devil is a Democrat.
Thank you, Tony Tone. I appreciate it. You're welcome. Yep, this is what they are. Like Tom McDonald said, the devil is a Democrat, right? They don't even see how they're losing, especially in the black community. They don't see how they're losing. We're not winning, they're losing, right? Every single day, there's some form of scam, crime, or violence, right? Everybody know it, right? Boy, I tell you, man. And they act like they the victim. Oh, no, this and that. Boy, that's why I say, man, we got to bring back accountability and responsibility, right? Because one way or the other, though, if you had it, you wouldn't have to have a thing. The prison systems wouldn't be overcrowding, right? Black on black jail lockup is well over 50%. It's going to keep it real. You know what I'm saying? This is one of the things, right? Had the young men and women have a father in a home with the woman, right? We wouldn't be going through this stuff today, right? This is a problem, a out of control problem. This is why they buck up against authority. They are not used to rules. They are not used to hearing the word no, right? They are in their own feelings, victimhood, victim class. That's all they talk about, right? And just warmed over BS racism, right? This is what they always cry about. Yeah. Mitch says, you speaking facts. Yes, sir. I'm speaking facts because I have lived in the black community. And that's all they ever do is whine victim. Victim, victim, victim. You know what I'm saying?
Beta!
That's exactly what it is. This is why men don't respect other men when they behave this way. That's not a man. These are grown-ass kids, 19, 20, 21, 22, and up. And they still acting like children, right? That's the thing about it, though. They ain't been taught to throw those things, right? They've been, I'm going to go and get myself a knife. I'm feared for my knife. You didn't have to show up there. You could have de-escalated and walked away from the situation. That's what men responsibility teaches, right? You fight if it's the last necessity to it all. If you exhausted all of your means, then absolutely to protect yourself. But to go out here and do that is totally unexcusable, and he done wasted his life. 30 years, you know? And he's going to have to deal with the Aryan brotherhood that's in the joint. They do exist. Boy, I tell you, man, this is sad. He's already touched down. He's already touched down. Mark says, amen, brother. I'm a Republican. I promise you, I'm not rich. I'm just smart. Yes, sir. Amen, brother. I appreciate you, Mark, as well, man. I appreciate a lot of you guys, man. This is what it is. I got real men and Trump supporters in my room, right? Even moderates believe in what I'm talking about. You ain't got to necessarily be a Trump supporter. Moderates know what's going on, too. And I respect you, moderates. You back your brother up. You know what I'm saying? The ones that's on the left that's been pandered to, coddled to, and so forth, and lied to, right? They the ones that hate this type of stuff, right? Because they're not used to accountability and responsibility, right? We got as a problem in America, right? That they created this two-tier system that's set up. They weaponized these people on the left, made them victims, right? So therefore they could scream, holler, and whine. And you see how a lot of them are very violent. These are behaviors from emotional women. These are called emotional males. An emotional male is very dangerous because he has the strength of a man, right? And when his feelings and his emotions are not being checked, you got to have some type of discipline coming from a man. He can be very dangerous. They're called emotional males, right? This is something we never had to deal with before welfare and all that stuff. 1965, Lyndon B. Johnson, the Great Society. This what was offered to the black woman to separate and to basically from her man, right? In order for her to get welfare, she have to give up her man. And this is what happened. Here we are from 1965, 2025. Look at what's going on now. That's why we don't have a community no more. This is one of the main reasons why, right? Because that was the actual beginning of the break of the black community. Prior to that, we were already married at an 80% rate or higher, right? In Jim Crow segregation, we still had a community, right? We still had morals and ethics, and many of us went to Sunday school, right? We weren't morally bankrupt like we are today as a black unit. And I'm using blacks as an example right now, right? It ain't just a black issue. This issue has been going on in other communities, poor whites and brown as well. We know this, right? This is by the design, right? This is the design that the demo KKK rats set up. They sold the rights to these weak-minded people that who's the victim? You the victim. You're black. You ain't gonna have the education as whites. You got white privilege. You will never be a doctor. You will never be a lawyer. You know what I'm saying? They teach this victim stuff from the left. So what are they over here doing? They're over here self-defeated, right? They have to try to do other things. If you notice, even in the black community, in general, take low-paying jobs, complain about them. Instead of figuring a way to go to school, to get the education, to get out of that bad environment, right? What do they keep teaching? Victimhood. They hate anybody that's more successful than they are, right? I know this because I grew up in this crab in a bucket type of mentality my whole life. I'm not making this stuff up, right? You can achieve if you believe, right? But who told you you can't believe, if you can't believe you can't achieve? It's the Democrats. The demon KKK rats have taught you otherwise, right? That's why I speak the truth on my channel. I don't run around with the fluff like these other people. The crux of the problem that the Democrats kind of stay somewhat in power because they have a lot of weak-minded stooges, right? And fools, right? That believe that they can never do better, right? That's the problem. You got all these athletes, you got all these celebrities in general, entertainers and all the rest of them that's figure out a way to get out of the damn hood. You can't do it either? What type of person are you? You're gonna waste your life hatred and hating while people are steady going ahead with their life and being successful, and you still gonna stay in the ghetto. There's no big, look at it, you acting like something gonna happen. Something gonna be great because you in the hood. Do you realize that the policies that your parents have voted for have caught you and keep you in the hood? It keep you oppressed, right? This is a black on black issue right now, right? This is exactly what it is. Nobody gives a damn about anybody when you are down in squalor. You have to figure a way to get out of it. Nobody owes you a cookie. It's just how it is. That's just how it is, right? So stop being a victim. Stop whining. Stop complaining. If you want something to change, you got to change it yourself. And this is real talk. And you didn't have to be paid to get this real truth, right? But what they do is they go and turn it down, because one thing about it, ladies and gentlemen, is simply this. When you give out free advice, it's garbage. When they pay for it, then it's worth something, right? That's just how it is. It's the mentality of people, right? Free advice is trash. When you pay for it, you respect it better. Unfortunately, but true. That's exactly what it is. Who cares? That's exactly what it is. They're the ones that's in trouble. They're the ones that got a problem. I don't know what it's like to be that type of victimhood or whatever. When you're a strong man and you stand on principle, stand on faith, take care of your family, take care of your loved ones. This is what it's about being a conservative. I just said it. That's the example. But when you want to versus a liberal, Liberal have to rely on the government, welfare assistance, and all the rest of the stuff, claim victimhood, right? Shame and blame and need to be right. They care about who's the president. Am I going to lose my benefits? Am I going to lose my SNAP and my other type of programs, my EBT? That's not for a person coming from strength. It's a person coming from weakness. You know? We over here on the right don't care about that type of stuff. As long as we got breath, we go out here and do what we have to do. You know? Nobody don't give a damn of what type of background you have, right? You have to give a damn. Nobody else is supposed to give a damn. You got to give a damn. When you don't give a damn, nobody else give a damn. That's exactly what it is. I'm just telling you the truth. That's just how it is. What you want, a cookie? You want an award? Nobody gives a damn about your situations. They don't care about you and your background and what's coming from you and how your family is raised. They don't give a damn about that stuff. You speaking, nobody cares. That's what I'm saying. You on the wrong train. You should be on the right train to get out here and do something for yourself, right? Figure out a way, make it happen. That's what a real man does. Not all this other stuff, this victimhood type stuff. You ain't gonna get nothing from that. Nothing comes good from being a victim. And I'm just gonna tell you the truth. It's just how it is. Nobody said life was gonna be fair. You have to get out of what it is for yourself, right? Do for yourself. Make it happen. Right? And stop being a victim. And that's what they taught. They taught too many of these men to be a victim. And I'm just saying, black, white, and other, you are a victim. Nothing good will ever come from being a victim, man, as I digress. Man, I appreciate it. Yeah, Black Guy 9 said, Tony, you barbecued. But barbecue Tony, boy, you right about that. I got those ribs nice and cooked and nice and tender, man. I put all that barbecue sauce on them and let them cook again. Even did the Texas cheat. Yeah, Jimmy says, MAGA hat. Yeah, Jimmy, MAGA hat. I wear my MAGA hat every time I go live, just about. About 99% of the time, you know, you get used to it. Yep. And there's many more of them too, you know? Yep. Black Guy 9 says Carmelo getting a booty gap. If he's lucky to even get that done. You know what I'm saying? That's the thing, though. His family set him up to fail, man. Say it. And that's what happens when you don't have a father. A stand-up strong man in the house. Mr. T2 says, Rob Reiner, a.k.a. Meathead, the poster boy for liberals. His own son killed him. Exactly, right? I'm glad you let me post that. That's a very, very good point there, Mr. T2. You know what I'm saying? Let me read the rest. He said, Meathead, and for those that don't know, Rob Reiner, besides him, used to be a Hollywood producer and director. But he had his early beginnings on a TV show called All in the Family, right? Where you was a guy played by Archie Bunker, right? Perceived to be a racist, right? Then you had Sally Struthers that played his daughter. And then she's like, you had the mother, I forgot her name, but I know the show, right? Definitely, right? And he says here, Meathead always bitched about Trump. But his own son killed him, right? Trump's sons would never kill him. Sorry, Meathead. And he's telling the truth. Trump's children are well respected throughout the community. And I know you're saying it's easy to say because they were rich, but let me tell you something. Anybody that been under the household of Trump, he was very stern but fair. I met Don Jr., right? There it is. So it wasn't a cakewalk. His mother, Ivana, right? Ivana come from that Slavic country over there. She was a pro skier as well as one that walked the one way. We talking about supermodel. You know, that's their mother, Ivana, right? For those that don't know, right? So she taught them, she gave her and him, they were disciplined. They said, here's the thing, I'm talking about for Trump. Don't do drugs, don't drink, and don't smoke. I'm going to tell you the reason why. He said, I lost my brother because he was an alcoholic, right? Unfortunately, he lost Ivana, though, because of alcohol. Not because of alcohol. I think she fell down the stairs, but she was drunk. You know what I'm saying? Something like that. You know what I'm saying? But Trump have always stated to his children, never drink, never smoke, and don't do drugs. Those are the rules, right? Don't go out here and get tattoos. Don't do all this weird rebellion type of stuff. He said it's a bad way, and he's right. If I had children, I would raise them the same way. Here's the rules of the household. Don't drink, don't smoke, don't do drugs. These are my rules. I'm the man, I'm your daddy, I'm your father. If you got a conflict, this is what I'm going to teach you. Not going out here getting a weapon and doing this like Rob Reiner, right? Son killed him and his wife, right? And that is worse when your own child turn on their family, right? We know what we're talking about over here as conservatives. Y'all don't have a track record as being a liberals. You come from broken homes, many of you. You escalate and deal with problems with violence, right? We escalate and deal with problems of solving it, right? That's the mentality. That's the mindset between the two, right? That's the thing. You learn that from some angry single mama or somebody in your community. Because a real man don't go out here and teach his son otherwise, because he already know the harsh reality of going to prison, if you're lucky, or 6 feet underground, right? When they have to bury your butt. Look at it. The cemetery is full of badasses. Am I lying or am I telling the truth? Right? Man, please. This is the problem with the mindset. That's why dealing with this stuff, you believe in these people, right? He said about Jasmine Crockett is a globalist commie pig. Yeah, she's much more the problem, man. That's the problem. She's the problem. You know what I'm saying? People like her is the problem, because they pander to black people, teach them how to be a victim, and that's why they come in here looking like pussies and sissies, especially the men. So I don't go as hard with the black woman like that, because the reason she's doing that, because she has a lack of a father and discipline and being around a real man, right? That's their problem. See what I'm saying? Because other than that, dealing with a real man, they wouldn't be dealing with this type of stuff, right? That's why I say I take you to Africa and let it be dealt with over there, right? Because over here they got, I'm just saying, that's one of the ways that I know how to deal with it. You know what I'm saying? It's called a country ass whooping. And this was the things that they used to do in the South. It was called spare the rod to spoil the child. I was raised that way, right? This is why I'm a better person today. I thank my grandmother for getting in my ass, right? And that's exactly what it is. We weren't no strangers to the switch of the belt, but it was very effective, right? You know what I'm saying? Look at them over here. A lot of them don't know what a switch in the belt is. Country ass whooping is one of the effective ways of dealing with it. Take all the clothes off and go to work. That'll take care of all that stuff. You know what I'm saying? Yep. The old saying used to say, with a lot of these slick mouth females and males, that means a lack of a whooping. You know what I'm saying? And that's exactly what it is. I grew up in that type of stuff. I'm telling the truth, right? We old school. We don't know anything about this new school stuff because it doesn't work, right? A lack of an ass whooping is the problem. One of the problems, right? And the lack of a father in the home. That's number one is the lack of the father in the home. Secondly, it's a lack of an ass whooping. And the way that they get taken care of, you got to go to work, right? You know what I'm saying? Lucky that I didn't have a pow. Hey, Jimmy, I'm going to go ahead and flag you right there. I got that copy. And I forgot to mention this earlier so that way you don't know. Oops, hold on for a minute. Whoops, that's the wrong one. I got to give Jimmy a reminder here. Hold on for a minute.
Attention all trolls. Please refrain from using harsh language and threats of violence. All violators will be blocked from the chat. Thank you very much, Chandria.
All right, I'm going to go ahead and copy what Jimmy said. Jimmy, you're going to probably be on your last leg being in this room. And one thing, we don't take any type of threats of violence whatsoever. And you are one of the biggest fools there is. You know what put on the internet is forever. That's why I never gesture any type of gun, pow, any of that stuff. Are you crazy? You got to be, whoever you are, they never really taught you very well about the internet. The internet is forever, and I got you, right? So I'm going to go ahead and take care of this one like I have taken care of other people. I got a little list of people. So, and then sit and show that I'm not playing, and I'm a man of my word. Hold on for a minute, ladies and gentlemen. Hold on for one moment. Is Jimmy still over there? Hold on for a minute. You know, see, and this is again for the lack of parent. You act like you have the only tool in the house. You know, conservatives, and I'm actually a licensed gun holder. Do you realize this type of stuff, right? So for those that are doing, this is the thing right here. FBI tip, 1-800, call the FBI, report potential domestic terrorism threats or anything else, because this stuff is for forever. Yep. There it is right there. So Jimmy, I got you on my list. You done made my shit list, man. You know what I'm saying? So any last words, Jimmy? Any last words, right? Any last words? Oops, wrong one, y'all. Hold on, wrong one. You know what I'm saying? Jimmy, any last words coming from you? Huh? Boy, it's going to be curtains for you. Curtains, I tell you, boy. Guess we don't hear from Jimmy no more, you know what I'm saying? I can't believe this fool even posted that up. You know what I'm saying? He act like he the only one, though, too. That's the thing about it, boy. And, I mean, this is the problem, ladies and gentlemen. Coming from the pussy left. See, I know my words cut like a knife. My words cut, and it bothers them, man. Down to their soul, it bothers them, man. It cuts like a knife. You know, what is this, Michael Jackson? And it cuts like a knife. She's out of my life. How'd it go? She's out of my life. Michael Jackson, you don't know nothing about that. Oh, yeah. But, yeah, man, I'm finished cooking right now, man. Love your content. I thank you, Joe. Joe Leroy, I appreciate it. Somebody had to do it, man. Somebody had to get in these old pussies and these old sissies, right? That's the thing about it, because they bothered and butthurt because I speak the truth, right? I'm not going to hold it up. The world don't owe you nothing, right? And then you got to deal with it. That's what men have to do before you. If you don't like it, do something about it. But you want to sit up here and blame and shame. Nobody cares about your feelings. That's a Democrat weak trait, right? That's what it is. You don't get no respect like that. You don't. They don't give a damn about you. You got to give a damn about yourself. This is your life. My life, not everybody's life. That's crap. That's bull. Everybody care. That's a lie that the Democrats told you. Nobody, no utopia. Everybody's supposed to care. You take care of your own family. That's what you got. That's what you're supposed to do, right? To working on you first, right? That's like I got to work on myself. Work on you first. Nobody owe you a free lunch. There's no such thing as a free lunch. According to the DMs, they want to convince them that it is, but it's not. But I appreciate you guys for rocking with your boy, man, enjoying my show. Over here, man, I entertain you. I'm your brother, you know what I'm saying? Tony Love, I'm your brother, you know what I'm saying? And I do this out of love. I don't do this out of hatred. See, they got me mischaracterized, right? They got me as some type of racist hater, self-hater of my own. I could tell that a lot of them never heard this type of stuff before. Had they would have had a father in the home, it wouldn't be bothering. It would not bother them, right? But the Democrats, oh no, we don't talk to you like that. Oh no, did the big bad black man, did the big bad Trump talk to you bad? Oh man, you know? You got to get over it. His children, to your knowledge, for those that hate Trump, his children should be degenerates. His children should be drug addicts. His children should be criminals. These are upstanding people of society, right? Because they had an advantage. Yes, but at the same time, you could still run and instill values and ethics in your family. It starts with your family. That's exactly what it is, right? These people should actually be looked up on as being an example, right? Even Don Jr., Eric Trump said, he said they grew up with rich people, privileged people. Look at Hunter Biden. Him and his brother before Bo died, right? They grew up in that privileged Washington class lifestyle of elites. They had everything given to them. What did they have to do? Pick up what? And do what? Snort cocaine and all this stuff? Doing drugs? And doing stuff that's unmentionable? Because they had a comfortable life. Joe Biden set him and Jill set him up. Set them up to fail, right? Look at it. They are nothing like Trump's family. I want a family like Trump, to be honest. I admire Trump. You know what I'm saying? Trump, if you're listening, I admire you. You know what I'm saying? You know that, though, right? I know Don Jr. rocks out to me every time after time. Don Jr. checked me out, so I met him personally, right? I know Don Jr. checked me out. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So this is big ups, right? But who put those signs up? What signs? You talking about over here? You talking about my backdrop? Oh, we got Deontay Waves podcast in the house, boy. Hold on, Deontay. I over here gave you big ups on your channel earlier, man. And I love your new, let me go give you some love over here. This is my boy right over here, Deontay Waves podcast show. You guys got to check him out too, man. You know what I'm saying? We on point, spreading the same message, man. You know what I'm saying? Him, Terrence K. Williams is another one, man. Terrence K. Williams, man. Yeah, that comedian brother is good. But yeah, Deontay, ladies and gentlemen, man, give a round of applause to Deontay Waves podcast show. Put it up here again. What's going on with you, brother? How you doing, man? I've been over here cooking, you know what I'm saying? Barbecue, man. Got the ribs, got the chicken going on. Yeah, man. I tell you, man, that's exactly what it is, though, man. But what's going on with you, D, man? You been all right? Yeah, I missed your show earlier. I know you did your show earlier, man. And, yeah, you had a nice turnout, too, man. That was cool, man. A real nice turnout. Yep, you say Democrats are traitors. You right about that. They are traitors to America, to our society, and our way of life. They really are. And this is why nothing good is going to come from them. Yeah, I see that there. He says hello to the chat. Deontay Rant Rave says hello to the chat. Boy, that is what's going on here. I can't wait till the 4th of July, man. I'm going to get that special 4th of July cap and hat. I'm looking forward to it, man. That's a beautiful thing, though, man. I'm going to get that 250th anniversary of that hat, you know, showing support. I appreciate you, though, man, for coming up in here, too, man. I appreciate you, man. He's got a very, very good show that you guys should check out. You know, Michael says, Tony, your feed on YouTube hasn't been coming up for me lately. You know how it goes, though. I don't really, I think if you have to click the bell and for you to get the notification, Michael, and things like that. But I guess people just know my schedule. I post most of the time if I'm able to. I'm usually on at about 6 p.m. or 7 p.m., man, and then go from there. So, yeah, so I try to do my best. Try to clear my throat. I've been talking all day. Yep. So he says hi to everyone. You know, be sure to check out Deontay Rant Waves podcast show, right? Now the money's spent and the reparations will never be a reality. How can you support a political party like the Democrats, which for 60 years have put a carrot in your face like you're a donkey and lead you astray? Yeah, you're absolutely right. This is what the Dems do. They always offer about reparations, which is an illusion. There's a bill called H.R. 40. And then once again, it's just a study of reparations. It never said that you were getting reparations. Even Kamala even said that she wasn't, no, I'm not doing anything just for black people. She already told you she's not going to do it. Neither of them going to be able to do it. They just, like Elusive says, it's a carrots dangling over. This explains why a lot of blacks are married to the Democrat Party, right? It's an illusion of inclusion under their rule, right? They just use you because they know when they need a riot, they need you to tear up, they use fear to get you to come out here and do the things destructive, because their party is a party of destructiveness. They destroy. They don't build. They destroy everything where they go. And things, Boy, I say this, though. This is a coming to a Lord experiences. You got it backwards. If Jesus right now to vote, he'll be voting for conservative, not no Democrat, And that's the truth, Ruth. You know what I'm saying? Boy, I tell you, boy, with your big forehead, you seem like you'll be so intelligent in things. You'll be a conservative versus a liberal. Nothing good can come from a liberal other than being a single mama on welfare, right? Talking about I'm trying to make it ahead or whatever, raising your children to be in the system, which is the prison system, or maybe gang violence, or maybe try to make sure the fathers at least can have to make sure that your daughters is not on that pole. It's one objective as a man when you got a daughter is to keep your baby off the pole. That's what Chris Rock said. Keep my baby off the pole, boy. I tell you, keep my baby off the pole. And we got to keep those babies off the pole, right? Because we already know. Don't get mad, Nikki, because I'm telling the truth, right? You upset because you know it is. That's why you're upset and bothered by it. 72%, once again, are black females, right? With no father in the home, right? There it is. She raises her children. And we already know this already been said through the psychologists, right? Crime, violence, and drugs, prostitution. That's their future, right? If they lucky, right? I'm just saying, it could be much worse. You know what I'm saying? We even talked about the grape and incest stuff that's been going on. There's a lot of things where you don't have a father to protect you. A father, not only a provider, but he's also a protector. It's something that a lot of these women and young men are not, and young women are not familiar with it. They don't have that experience. I'm only speaking the truth, right? This ain't about F your feelings. Somebody care about your feelings. These are facts. We deal with facts around here. We don't care about your feelings. You think your feelings, like we care about your feelings? I don't care about your feelings. I don't care about your black woman feelings or your black men feelings. F your feelings, right? These are facts. It is about time that somebody get in your ASS, right? You're going to deal with facts around here. That's exactly what it is. You think I care? You think this is about caring about your feelings? Who cares? Even life don't care. You could be out in the street right now. You think it's society's fault? No, it's your fault, right? Accountability and responsibility will have to be taught all over again to these so-called special victims, right? That's the thing about it, though. You ain't gonna never, get ahead by playing a victim. Facts over feelings, not the other way around. That's why people on the right, we don't rock with this victimhood stuff. You make yourself look foolish, crazy, and once again, nobody cares. Nobody cares. That's the ultimate thing, When we had a 97% black on black crime, that should have been a coming to Jesus moment right there. You think it is with a lot of people on the left? It's not. They want to blame everything else. Blame. The blame game, right? Instead of fixing the problem. What about these black grifters? What about these black pork chop preachers, right? Oh, these old race hustling ass Negroes, right? If they cared so much about black people, they would have curtailed the black on black violence for 97%. We almost at 100%. Do you realize this? Talking about the white man is the killer. The black on black is the number one killer throughout the black community. And this is a fact, right? You don't want to deal with real statistics, right? All you want to do is sit up in here and try to block and cape for it, right? When you know it's the number one problem. This is a black on black issue, right? Black on black issue that the Dems have convinced you of being a victim. And you preach and teach victimhood, right? Scarcity, limitless, and being limited without the lack or what you think the lack of opportunity, right? This is crap. This is BS, man. All this pro-black stuff. I'm going to tell you right now for you pro-blacks. If you pro-black, get your ass out here and start fixing the community and stop grifting. If you care so much about blacks, see, I'm not the one running up here talking about, because I understand it's an individual thing. But you ain't going to get no respect from nobody. Get your behind out here and fix it. That's what you do, right? You fix the problem. And watch this, guys. None of them are going to do it. They just come up here and talk crap. They're not going to go out there and do that. They don't get out here and mentor. They don't get out here and do any of these things, right? 97% black on black crime, and they don't have an answer for it. They don't want to have an answer for it. They also are the problem. A lot of these people are the problem, right? Oh, we got the first Avenger in here. Oh my goodness. Yep, I done cooked you before, and you come back again and get cooked some more of the first Avenger. You ain't the first Avenger. You ain't even the last Avenger. In fact, you're not an Avenger at all. You just one of these guys that wish you was an Avenger. You know what I'm saying? I done cooked you before on the debate, and I kick your butt right now on the debate, you know? And you know it, right? You know what I'm saying? You're not even my equal, sir, at all, right? Over here spreading victimhood like they all do. Look at the sad sissies, and look at them. And I ain't going to hold it up, though, because I can go much harder. If it wasn't for YouTube, I would even go harder than this, though. Believe me, I got levels to this damn stuff. Don't let the smooth taste fool you, right? If it wasn't for YouTube, man, you got to go on my members, whatever, and I'm going to really go in, right? But that's exactly what it is, though, man. This is the type of stuff here. So we done already cooked Gavin Newsom already. And we also talked about these old lame, weak, no fathers in their life men, right? This is the problem. The emotional males, you know what I'm saying? They got to resort to violence, grab a knife, grab a gun. They think that that's tough, right? If we had to go one-on-one, it's a whole different experience. Most of them ain't never been in a fight in their life, let alone can crush a grape, right? That's the thing about it. You could just tell. You could tell. You could tell. That's the problem. Weak, no male leadership or authority. That's the problem. Let me see. I'm white guy, if anyone cares. Nobody cares, though, really, those snuffles. If you're white, black, or other. Nobody, no, we don't care about that. It's not even a race thing. This is a society situation. This is what this is about. You got this weak group coming from the left that's over here teaching all this victimhood type stuff, right? This is what we should be talking about, getting down to the brass tacks of it all. Not all this other stuff. We almost at 100% black on black crime. They don't never talk about that. It's all about the big bad Trump when we over here losing as a group. Shoot, you ain't got to worry about no Klan when you got the black Klansmen going out here and doing it. Just like that brother that was in my room earlier with the white Klan out. He had the white Klan outfit, but he was a brother underneath, right? But this is their mentality, because when you hate yourself, right, you go out here and you do the bidding. It's called Stockholm Syndrome. And you do the bidding of what your enemy, you have the lens through the enemy. And you mean to tell me that you like each other? You don't. You pushing an agenda, an ideology, a racist ideology against your own people. This is the problem. This is the damn problem, right? Big Mike has hair under his feet. Big Mike, shout out to Big Mike, ladies and gentlemen. You know who Big Mike is. Big Mike, Michael Obama. Big Mike. Big Mike, right? Boy, I tell you. Big Mike. Man. Boy, I tell you, guys, I done cooked them enough. I done barbecued. They behind enough, boy. Boy, I tell you, we up to 130 likes, man. You guys have been doing great. You know what I'm saying? Even with the dislikes, it still helped my algorithms as well, too. And I appreciate you guys, man. I've been getting in some behind here, boy. And I'm gonna continuously continue doing it, because they should be ashamed. Black leadership should be ashamed of themselves. That's why I don't hold them up. I don't have a black leader. I lead myself. That's another problem, though. It's a delusion, right? A delusion. They just delusional people that act like the Democrats care for them so much. It's this crazy talk. Look at how they talk crazy in here, how feminine they are, and how angry they are. No accountability and no responsibility. They act like a female. I'm talking about these emotional males that has been raised. They haven't been raised by a father or some type of male authority. This is black, white, and other. This is a man problem in America right now. Even though it happened in the black community first, but it spread it out to some of the white community, brown community. That's exactly what it is. No woman can raise no boy. A man can raise a son, not no woman, right? Women can raise a daughter, can't raise a man, right? Got to have a man in the house. The man is going to lay down not only for being a provider, but he's also going to raise down discipline and values, right? Keeping them out of jail, out of prison, keeping them from being touched on, felt on, right? This is what a man does, right? He cares about his family. As a man, we have to take responsibility of our own families, right? So therefore, they can have a fighting chance. This is what it's like to be a conservative man, right? Well, we have morals, right? And not only that, we are not bankrupt in morality, but we have a lot of morals, right? A lot of us are very spiritual, religious, whatever it is, but we take care of home first. That's the thing. That's the mentality. And we don't wait for somebody to give us something. With the welfare mentality, with my hand out on everything, we know to get out here and work for it, like what I'm about to do in a minute. Right? This is the thing, though. You can tell these silly welfare mentality type people that come in my room because they've been used to just giving a fish instead of getting out here and work for it. That's the problem. And unfortunately, it's going to be many more Carmelo Anthonys going to prison if they're lucky, or 6 feet under with no mail. When are we going to stop with this type of stuff? Right? This is the problem. Right? This is the problem. Other than that, guys, I thank you all for listening to some random guy speaks. I think I knocked it out of the park here. I got a lot of these liberals on the left mad at your brother here. They crying. They upset. Boy, they hate this narrative. They hate this backdrop. And this was a real photo. They do not believe it. They hate it. We destroyed a narrative, ladies and gentlemen. I don't apologize about supporting Trump. I don't apologize for voting for Trump. I don't apologize about any of these things. And you can't make me feel bad because the choice is clear. I will vote for Trump, right, for the rest of my life if he can run. I tell you that much, right? That's how much of your policies and your party. I'm not married to a party. I'm happen to vote for the man that I think is better to run this country, and that is Donald J. Trump, right? And anyone else that have a greater policy after Trump, I'm going to vote for that person too. So how about that? But I appreciate you, though. I really do, for coming in this room. I have cooked their butt. I have barbecued their butt. They all got in their feelings and stuff like that, boy. Looking stupid, looking crazy. Look at it, boy. I tell you, man. I got this, it's another black female that come up here. Oh, that's a horrible picture. What'd she say? MAGA won't have you idiots. It's funny you're black and you're describing blacks as disgusting. I'm only telling the truth. I come from the hood, baby. What you talking about? You know what I'm saying? From the gutter. You know what I'm saying? What you talking about? Apparently, you're talking about yourself. No, I'm talking about the conditions in society that you refuse. This is, who is this? This black girl's life. That's who that is. That's who I'm addressing you, ladies and gentlemen. I'm talking to her, right? Because she's upset because I'm telling the truth in regards to what is going on. And this is a left-leaning policy, ma'am, right? Something you refuse to hold your party accountable. You make yourself look foolish. You make yourself look like an idiot, right? You can't even sit up here and you mean to tell me that MAGA is this problem? Talking about Trump won't have you. I said many a times one time that I have met Don Jr., talk with Don Jr. and others, right? When you never been to a Trump rally in your life, so you only speaking on what you don't know. I could speak on what I know. I have been to many Trump rallies. And all those people that are white that was there, they treated me with the utmost respect, with kindness and acceptance, the party of love, you know. They were happy to see me, right? You know what I'm saying? They have respect for me because I overlooked for what the so-called left status quo told me not to show up. You never been to a Trump rally before, this black girl life. You have no idea what you're talking about. And that's why people look at you in this room and you make yourself look foolish. Until you have showed up into a rally or two, you only speaking on something that you don't know. You speaking propaganda from the news. You don't even have the woman panties for real to even show up at a rally, let alone. And that's for the rest of them, draws and panties. You don't even have the gall or the balls to even show up at a rally, right? We don't want to have you there anyway, because all you're going to do is make a spectacle of yourself, you know? We don't want you anyway, right? And that's for anybody else, though, you know? You come in here with this victimhood stuff. I don't kowtow and bow down to you. You know what I'm saying? Burley says, LOL, kick-ass mods. Oh, yeah, the mods is on it. Let me go and get a special recognition of all my mods tonight. You guys, hold on for a minute. I got something.
Let us give a shout out to the Mod Squad. Starting with Black Guy 9, Texas Jane, that is a member. Man USA 1, Slick Nick, both are members. Denise Farmer, Dana, Jason Beatrice, that is a member. Brian Reedy, that is a member. Joe Mama, that is a member. Howard, that is a member.
Yeah, these are members and mods. This is the mod squad, you know. Brian Reedy, he said, amen, Tony. Yep, he said, I appreciate you, though. We got Mary Emma, boy. Mary Emma, boy. Hope you come back, Mary Emma, because I cook them. Boy, Dante Ray is in the house still. I see you though, brother. You know what I'm saying? We're going to do another one there. I had to cook him, man. Cook him, man. Who is this brother and sister here? We going by the name of Pumpkins Shockley. Why you got the sad face and crying, man? You should be happy that I'm telling the truth. Accountability in the black community. What's with the sad face? You know what I'm saying? I mean, you know, you look like you got you and your wife together. Y'all have a good looking photo. You know what I'm saying? Boy, I tell you, I got a super chat. Oh my goodness. Oh man. Damu too? Oh man, hold on for a minute. I gotta give you some recognition though before I go. Hold on for a minute. You got a super chat. What's your response to children on the island? Which island are you talking about here? I accepted he gave me a super chat of $2. Well, I got my sound effect here. Y'all know when the money drops. Hold on, I actually got a sound over here. I got to put it on cue. $2 or whatever. I'm happy to get $2 off that flow. You know what I'm saying? Boy, $2 coming from Damu too. I know you're asking the question. You talking about which island? You talking about Epstein Island? Is that what you're talking about? Epstein Island? I want to be clear on before I even mention something though too. Where my money thing at, boy? I tell you, boy, I gotta get that money up off that flow, boy. Hold on for a minute. I see it. There it go. There it go. I know, right? All right. So yeah, let me see here. Did you respond after that? I appreciate the super chat though. Damu says, what about how he is protecting people on that file? Okay, I can answer that. Let me go and put, I like how you're answering, how you doing it though. You know, man, that's a cool Batman thing though too. Everybody got some nice avatars. I know what you're talking about. You're talking about Little St. John's Island, right? You're talking about the home of, what's his name? Jeffrey Epstein, right? You think that Trump is protecting Jeffrey Epstein because you're saying that he won't release the Trump files. If I'm correct, is that what you're kind of asking? Yeah, you can't say Epstein on a sub chat. Yeah, I can say Epstein. Everybody else does. Yeah, I can still say Epstein, you know what I'm saying? Epstein, there's a lot of Epsteins. But I know what you're talking about though, you know? Talking about Little St. James Island. Yeah, I know what you mean. Here's the thing though about it. Now, you gotta keep in mind, when I said this before and I say it again, the children are innocent. They were groomed to do this type of stuff. The people that were doing it, we already know. It wasn't just Epstein. What's her name? Ghislaine Maxwell, his girlfriend. She was over here getting those kids. There was a lot of people involved, right? You even had people that was visiting on that island in the political arena from the left, demo KKK rats, they were on that island, right? But here's the thing about it. Trump was a FBI informant that was working undercover to bring Epstein down, right? And he did. This is what led to Epstein's arrest, you know? So here, before we even go into that, how about this? We talk about what has happened. You talk about the files, a lot of the files that were out here are not the real files. You know what I'm saying? This is one of the reasons when they released this crap, it was a throw off in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? The real files are being held. They already been released because the Dems made a stink in the holler. Trump held on to the files purposely because he set it up that he wanted the Dems to force him to release it, which he did. You should be thankful because of Trump releasing the files, because of the Democratic pressure, he released the files. The unredacted files, they have it at the secret grand jury, have all the files, unredacted and all. They knew who all the children that was on the island, but they had to protect the children. They can't release those files out to the public, unredacted, unprotected of these children. They would know to go to where these children are and do bodily harm to them, right? This is why these files have to be protected. It's going to go down. You just have to give it time. You may not think so, but this is actually factually true about the Epstein stuff. The Epstein to me is not a gotcha moment. It's just that I've said this many of times, but I notice with the left, they do this to try to get a gotcha moment. Some of them don't even believe it. That's why I say you got people down here that saying bullshit. They don't believe it until when it comes out to the grand jury. They don't believe it though. That's okay though. You know, I'm not upset that they don't believe it. We know this. The problem is that because of their Trump derangement hatred, first and foremost, and never Trump thing. This channel was not designed for never Trumpers convincing them. All we know is that when the evidence come out, just like they have found a lot of these children due to the FBI, due to the due diligence, try to say that, of Kash Patel and his people. They have found a lot of these children that came up missing. He found of them, thousands of them, right? Thousands of them. And a lot of them and all of them were raped. That's the facts. So I think that our diligent men and women of the FBI is doing a wonderful job. We ain't never seen the FBI get down like this. If it was still under Joe Biden and the rest of them, we would have never found these children, let alone a lot of other things. It ain't about me convincing you, but you ask me a question, and then you come back and say that the informant BS stuff is retarded. You ask me a question, though, Damu, and I'm giving you what it is. This ain't about convincing you. This is about stating facts, right? This is about what it is. The files are in the hands of the grand jury. That's where it is. You don't have to believe me. You don't have to believe me at all. That's cool. You know, I'm not the one swearing and cussing and foaming out, that bullshit. I'm not doing that. I don't care. This is about facts. Fuck your feelings. This is about what it is. You can take it or leave it. You think I care about that? Don't mean nothing to me. You know what I'm saying? And for anybody else, I don't apologize to you dudes. I'm a real man. I stand on my ground and I stand on my square. And this is what it is. It ain't about a belief system. This is about what it is. The files and the information have been released over to the grand jury. They have it. They have those files. And that's exactly what it is. All that fake stuff that you got out here with the names and the list or whatever, you better be careful with that. Because I'm going to tell you this. The people that many of you look up to and support, especially on the left, there's a lot of lists and names. People in Hollywood and all the rest of them. No wonder they hate Trump so much, right? And it's making more sense now. Why they hate Trump. Why Whoopi and all them hate Trump. It makes a lot of sense, right? So there that is. You know, this ain't about convincing. We'll see. We will see when the grand jury, when it goes to trial for real, we will see, right? Just because it ain't happening don't mean it's not happening. There's a lot of things that's happening behind the scenes that you may or may not be aware of. Facts, right? Let me see it. Johnny Boy says, Trump, Black Trump, got the hearts over here. We love ICE. And this is a brother. Thank you for backing me up, brother. I appreciate it. Got a lot of brothers in here that's backing me up. Back your brother up. I appreciate it though too, man. You know what I'm saying? Yep. F your feelings. Once again, this is about facts. I will be back. Okay, Big John. I may not be back by the time you get back, though, Big John, but I appreciate you showing up, man. That's Big John, boy. Big John, you know what I'm saying? Which is a moderate. He's not a Democrat or Republican. But one thing he's aware of is that a lot of sense and common sense that many of us been talking about in this room is appealing more to the moderates, and I know more of them. Omega is a moderate. Joe Mama, these are the guys that have been following me for a long time. Those are moderates. I'm used to dealing with real moderates, not the fake ones that are really Democrats posing as moderates, right? That's the thing about it. But like I said, I have said this so many times about the Epstein stuff. Man, we got your back, Tony. I appreciate it. Thank you so much, Dana. I appreciate you. I appreciate you. I do. Deontay Rant Raves, got you 6. I appreciate it, man. Thank you so much, brother. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate you as well, too. And Deontay, once again, ladies and gentlemen, he has a great channel that y'all should be able to follow as well. You know what I'm saying? He speaks a lot of common sense and knowledgeable. He's way more, conservative and reframed than I do. I'm a little bit more, I get a little emotional, boy, but it's passion, though. See, it's passion. It's not hatred. I don't hate any other people in this room. It's called passion. You know what I'm saying? And when you're passionate about something, you get a little loud. You know what I'm saying? You got to amplify. That's how I keep your attention, right? Oh, man. Right? So other than that, though, I'm about to get ready to head off, though, man. Damu, like I said, you are welcome to have your opinion. And I appreciate the super chat. I really do. You know what I'm saying? But he said, hey, Mod, stop muting me. Blah, blah. I'm going to work. Yeah, don't mute him. If y'all doing, whatever. If he's doing it or not, I don't know if they are doing it or not. But like I said, I'm not mad at you, Damu. You know what I'm saying? You're more welcome to come back in the chat. Like I said before, you have your opinion, and that's fine. I'm not going to shut you down because you have your opinion. But what I'm saying is to you is that the grand jury has the unredacted evidence. Trump released it. He had to release it. In Congress, he released it. They demanded it. And I'm going to have to go into a lot more detail in regards to that, too. I see that's going to have to be a topic of a discussion later on, when I have to bring up more information. I don't want him to believe what I'm saying, right? Because again, who am I? But I'm talking about the facts, right? That's what we're talking about. So yeah. But let me see here. Do I want to address something else before I go? Because I really got to get out of here. I'm way over, ain't I? Boy, I'm way over. Though. Let me see here. Actually, he didn't release the files. They were, hold on for a minute. Hold on for one moment. Let me do this, though. Just give me one moment. All right. I know I got some other things on here before I go. Boy, I'm losing my voice. All right, but hold on for one moment. And like I said, you are entitled to have your opinion. But when I'm repeating, it's not an opinion. This is actually what ended up happening, This is exactly what ended up happening. So let me see here. All right. I had to pull up my other source. Trump released thousands of previous. Oh man. Hold on for a minute. Hold on for one minute before I even read that. No, we ain't talking about that one. Give me one moment here, ladies and gentlemen. Give me one moment. Let me see here. He actually released. Let me see here. All right. Let me see here. All right. Let's take a look. Man, I gotta get going, man. Ooh, boy. It's been good, though. It's been good. Yeah, hold on for a minute. All right, let's take a look at it here. Let's see here. All right. Damu claims that Trump Trump saying that Trump didn't actually release the Epstein files. The post that contradict itself by citing the courts arguing that the files should be released anyway, implying the release was mishandled. The user frames Trump handling the Epstein files release is poor without providing a specific evidence of court case citations. Also, Trump directed, the release of the Epstein files and move long demanded by the public and resist by prior administrations. No specific court rulings have found that Trump had released improperly or illegally, which means that he released the files. The Post provides 0 citations, case names, and evidence to support the claim that his handling was poor. So it's not the truth. It's not what you're saying at all, Damu. Not at all. Which court case specifically found Trump handling improper? Name one case demanding release were filed before Trump ever touched this. They were aimed at the people stonewalling it, right? So there it is, though. There's no evidence of Trump ever mishandling the Epstein files. But he did release the files, right? And the grand jury has the files. There we go. So, yeah. So other than that, though, like I said, it ain't going to be enough to put it to rest for him. We got Bobby Fischer in the house, searching for Bobby Fischer, boy. Boy, to those that know that play chess know about Bobby Fischer, man. Facts, Jim, they abandoned the work class, man. I'm reading that for what Brian Reedy had to say. Let me see here. Let me see. Deontay Rant Rave says, for his podcast show, Ultra MAGA. Look at that power arm, boy, showing those muscles. Boy, ain't that something? Been MAGA since Reagan. That's a beautiful thing, though. Been MAGA since Reagan. Did y'all know that Reagan is the one that coined the phrase, make America great again? Yep. That was actually came from Ronald Reagan. Ronald Willie Reagan. Bud Russell is in the house. Why are liberal men so gay? Yeah, they promote that stuff, man. Yeah, because they don't have a lack of a father in the home, say the least. There's a lot of other things that have been pushing this. They've been groomed by the DMs on the left. They've been pushing this woke agenda type stuff, DEI stuff, LGBTQ community, transgender stuff. So this is why, though. It started in the black community, though. Yeah, it's just exactly what it is. This is exactly what it is. Sad, though. Sad but true. How the hell am I selling out, though? He said selling out for Trump. I'm not even getting paid for Trump. What is he talking about, man? We do this because I am a patriot that love this country. You have been under the Democrat rule far so long that you don't know up from down and left from right. Look at you screaming victim right now. You never challenge your party. You never put them to a higher standards. You never push for better communities and so forth. You continuously to vote for a group that have nothing that don't even see you as human, let alone. You should be upset for even having a thing called a hood, right? This is the thing, though. Do they even know how to deal with their local congressman? Do you know who your local congressman is? Do you know where to go to make complaints? Most of them don't. They just sit up here and complaining. That's the problem, right? Blacks that I learned always argued amongst each other. They shame and blame each other, but they never take it to where it actually, who's responsible, right? This is a problem, a continuous, ongoing problem, right? And many of you don't even know who your who's your congressman? Who is your local congressman? I know who mine is. Who is yours? Who is yours? And then you won't even have the balls or the gall to go up there. You just complain amongst each other. And this is why, I mean, you never champion or demand anything, though, you know? The welfare city came from your party. It's on the left, purposely. You don't even know the history of why this stuff is. It's like trying to talk to them, ladies and gentlemen. It's like talking to children. They get in their feelings, want to call you crazy and a liar. We already done cooked Gavin Newsom. He'll be in those silver bracelets for all that fraud, crime, waste, and abuse. He ain't the only one. Tim Walz, they all going down. And we're seeing it, ladies and gentlemen. We are seeing it. Just like the redistricting, we saw that come back because it's constitutional. Gerrymandering is unconstitutional. This is why they lose, right? They are losing, you know? Get off the Democrat slave plantation. Get away from Candyland. Y'all remember that movie with Django? Yeah, get off of Candyland because Candyland is the problem. If you want to stay on Candyland and be governed under somebody like Samuel L. Jackson, you know, what that boy doing up there on that mule. Oh my goodness. That's what it remind me of, man, you know. Brian Reedy says Elon is a trillionaire, yep, yet gives away his patents. Yeah. Let me see. Let me go ahead and That's the thing about it. Gas prices is going down. We're looking good. The demo KKK rats. Yeah, but let me go ahead and get on out of here, guys. I got to get to work. I got to get to work. Got to get myself out here and make a living. Got to get to work. You know, something that these DMs on the left as men should be doing more of, man. You know what I'm saying? These guys, 18, 19, and 20, they should be working at least about 50 to 60 hours minimum, right? That way, if you out here at work, you know, can't get out here and get in trouble, right? Work for a cause, man, and stop blaming everybody, right? Get off that PlayStation. Get off that marijuana, right? Get out here and get to work. Work. You got to get out here. Yep. Good talk. Thanks for info. Man, Shane Suma. Yeah, I appreciate you, though, man. Appreciate you for coming up here as well. And all you guys as well, too. Where's my big applause at? I appreciate you. I do. I'm your brother. I'm your brother. Bud Russell, good to see you. Big John, I appreciate you. I'll see you tomorrow. Same time, same back channel. I'm going to try to do it for 6 p.m., y'all. Yep, Texas Jane. She says, have a great night, Tony, and the Patriots. That's right. Look at that beautiful flag right there, boy. We got Texas Jane, right? Texas Jane. Yep. Boy, I tell you, we for wussies. Yeah, because it make you non-productive. Some of them are functioning. They can go to work under weed, but a lot of them are unfunctional, you know. They just cannot function, you know. Weed make you lazy, man. Do a lot of other things. Where's my shout-outs at, though? I appreciate y'all all, man.
Let us give a shout-out to the Mod Squad. Starting with Black Guy 9, Texas Jane, that is a member. Man USA 1, Slick Nick, both are members. Denise Farmer, Dana, Jason Beatrice, that is a member. Brian Reedy, that is a member. Joe Mama, that is a member. Howard, that is a member.
I appreciate it, though. I do. That's for the moms. But, yep. So, other than that, though, you know, and sometimes with the marijuana, some people perform better. Others don't. You know, everybody's body is different. I just prefer not to do it. You see what I'm saying? That's just me. I follow the Trump mentality, right, where he tells his children, don't do drugs, don't smoke, and don't drink. If you do those things, you'll have a very prosperous life, let alone a very healthy one, right? So there it is. Everybody have their own thing. I'm not telling people what to do, but hey, he must do something and know something though, right? Because he had turned out winners with his family though. That's what I aspire to be. To have that Trump family, right? They're looking very, very dignified, right? Not looking all weird and out of place, right? Very conservative, wears suits and everything, and just looking good, man. You know what I'm saying? Not ratchet, ghetto behavior, right? Oh, my goodness. Thanks, Tony. Thanks, Black Guy 9. I appreciate you, man. Who is this that got Jimi Hendrix photo up here? Hold on. Yeah, Jimi Hendrix played the guitar upside down, boy. You know what I'm saying? Watchtower, you know? Oh, man. Foxy Lady. Oh, man. Look at this, boy. Let me see here. Titus. Boy, look at this photo right here. Titus, look like you in deep thought right now. Look at this. Let me see here before I go. Trump would be cool if he didn't completely lie about everything he campaigned on. I guess he's great if you're Israel, you know. He lied about everything, man. If I had time, I would really, really like to ask you some questions, Titus. I hope you come back tomorrow. You look like one of these like astute type of thinkers, you know. I like these guys, right? You're more welcome to come back tomorrow where we can go ahead and dissect what you're saying. Let me see. A Black Guy 9 says, thanks, Tony. I appreciate you, Black Guy 9. Texas Jane with she's a modern day Annie Oakley, ladies and gentlemen. In Texas, they always have the 6-iron. That is a 6-shooter, you know what I'm saying? Boy, practically born and raised shooting. Pow, pow, you know? Brian Reedy said, looking at it, and said, Biff, that's a lie. Trump doesn't do drugs or drink. He doesn't. He doesn't do any of these things. We made Hendrix better. You know what I'm saying? Well, I would say this. I mean, everybody is different. I'm not judging Jimi Hendrix. We know he was taken out for some other things, though. You know what I'm saying? But as far as the music, I thought he was very talented, you know, and things. He could have probably been even greater, in my opinion, without, you know. I mean, people don't really consider weed, drugs, and not. I just follow Trump's thing. Stay away from that stuff, man. You'll have a long, prosperous life, man. But I appreciate you guys, though. Let me get out of here, man. Boy, you guys are holding me up. You know what I'm saying? I think we toe it up, you know? There we go, boy. I'm going to have to do a night show with guys. Next time, I'm going to have to do a night show or early. Was it 2 a.m., midnight, 2 p.m., 2 a.m. in the morning? I'm going to have to do a real late night show, though, and see how that works. But other than that, guys, I thank you all for being part of Some Random Guy Speaks. I am your host, Tony Love, your brother. And other too. I'm your brother from another mother as well as your brother. Many brothers and sisters out there, you know what I'm saying? Boy, I tell you. But other than that, though, Joey, don't be like that, Joey. It's okay, Joey. He said Trump is speed freak. Trump is a lot of things that is positive, man. This guy's working around the clock, man. He don't have very time to sleep, you know? Brian Reedy says, thank you for another what is that? Fire stream, Tony. I appreciate it, though. I appreciate it, guys. Yep. I appreciate it. This token is spent for the day. Boy, this token, boy, I heard that in a long time, man. Boy, Russell says Biff is an idiot. I don't take any of this us trying to assault me serious, man. You got to have thick skin to do what we do up here, man. You know what I'm saying? Me, Deontay, I mean, we done heard it all. That's one thing about it. I'm going to get a bit out of shape, upset with somebody. I just like to troll back with facts. Tim B says, Trump is a racist. Oh, my God. Black Guy 9, you need a panel of MAGA. I'm going to do that, though. I've been meaning to do that, though. I'm going to have a panel of MAGA black Trump supporters as well as others. You don't have to be black. I want you up here white. I want some moderates up here and things like I had Omega up here and a few others. We're going to do that. You know, Deontay, I want you up here too, man. We're going to do that, man. You give me the time. We're going to have you guys, Marlon, I want you guys up here. When I'm going to have it, I may have to use my other, I may have to use StreamYard or something to do that. But yeah, I'm going to have you guys up here, man, where we're going to have a panel discussion. Bud Russell, I want you guys up here. We talking about why we vote for Trump. That's why. We're going to have a Trump conversation, right? These people are TDS out there. I know, right, John? Yeah, we're so used to it. But we're going to have us a black, white, and other. No matter what you are, as far as color, don't matter. I just want you up on the panel. We're going to have a nice panel discussion, though, right? That'd be cool. But, yeah, gonna try to make that happen though, man. I'm gonna have to reach out to my people, man. Yeah, but Deontay, man, that'll be cool, man. We got to do this, brothers, sisters, and others. We got to do it. We got to do it. I've been wanting to do a Brian Reedy. I want you guys up here, man. Black Guy 9, I want you up here, man. Nobody knows you. You don't even have to have your camera on, man. You know what I'm saying? So however you want to do it, you can have your avatar up. It's all good. But other than that, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to have a panel discussion of, black, white, and other. We're just going to call it Trump supporters. There you go. There they go, right? We're going to do the Trump supporters, man. I'm your brother, right? And your brother from another mother, Tony Love, though, signing out, ladies and gentlemen. And I'll see y'all tomorrow. Hopefully we can make it happen tomorrow, man. That's how excited I am about it, man. You done gave me an idea, Black Guy 9. You sure did. Big John, you have to call in too, man. I can have you up here, Big John. Not a problem at all, man. I want y'all up here on the panel, man. What did Tony say? He says, I'm your mama, I'm your daddy. I'm that killer in the alley. I'm your pusher. Oh, yeah, I'm your pusher. Oh, you over here singing Curtis Mayfield. I'm your brother, I'm your daddy, I'm that in the alley. Have some coke, have some weed, a true friend to receive. You know me, I'm your friend, your main boy, thick and thin. Right? I'm your pusher. You ain't gonna do the pusher thing. You got to say it right. Put some respect on Curtis Mayfield's name if you gonna do that. Curtis Mayfield, boy. What you know about that, boy? I tell you, look forward to it, Big John. Yeah, we're gonna do it tomorrow, though, man. Yep, we are gonna do it tomorrow, man. Peace and chicken grease. I'll see you guys tomorrow. We're gonna have that panel discussion tomorrow, right? There we go. All right, guys. I love you all, man, you know, even for my haters, man, because Jesus said so, right? Boy, where my thing at, man? Yes, Jesus loves me, because the Bible tell me so, boy. And I appreciate it, though, man. Let me go ahead and get out of here, though, man. But I appreciate you guys, man. I do. Where's my thing at? Laughter? Yeah, well, nope. There you go. Almost hit the wrong one. Tony says, you killed that, T. I appreciate it, Tony. I appreciate it, though, man. We're going to have that panel, though. So, Tony, you guys are welcome to come up. Come up. Yep, Jen, you welcome to come up. I want the women, too. I want Texas Jade. I want you all to come up. We're going to show that we are supporters of Trump, black, white, and other. I'm your brother. Some of you, I'm your brother from another mother. But I'm still your brother, right? Tony Love. I'll see y'all tomorrow. Peace, man. And don't forget to share this information with others, though. If you may not be as good at cooking on the black and other communities, right, because of the Democrats, just share the video, though, you know. I don't care about all that stuff, you know, and just share it with somebody that you love, though. I thank all the subscribing, and I appreciate all of the likes. You guys knocked it out of the house. Oh, my God, it's 151. Oh, my goodness. I appreciate it, though. That pushes up in the algorithm, and it allow other people to see it, though, right? There it is, right? And I appreciate you guys tomorrow, you know. Damu, you too, man. I appreciate you, you know, with the super chat. It's all good. $2, hey, I take it. I'm picking money off the floor, boy. Get that money up, boy. Get that money up. I appreciate y'all, man. I'm good at cooking. I know you are, though, Big John, man. You're going to have to swap some recipes, man. You know, us big guys got to stick together, though, right? Boy, I'm a big fella, too. But I am going to get the weight down, though. But, yeah, you know what I'm saying? But I don't miss too many meals. I hit that like on the way out. I know that's right, Tony, man. I like your thinking, though, man. Tony Rivera. Yeah, go ahead, man. That's what I tell you, man. I got a lot of Latino love to my Latino, right? I got a lot of love from everybody. Korean, white, black, and other, man. It's all good, man. I'll see y'all all tomorrow, man. Peace and chicken grease. Your boys, I got to leave on the Star Spangled Banner, man. Let me go ahead and do that. I got to do that. That's right, Star Spangled Banner. Stand up and salute for the Star Spangled Banner. Let me go ahead and put that on. Let me take this off, ladies and gentlemen. We got us in with the Star Spangled Banner. Yep. Let me see here. There we go. There we go, man. You guys been great, man. We're gonna do that panel tomorrow. I'm gonna make it do what it do. Let me put myself right. Actually, I'm gonna go ahead and take myself off because we're gonna start with the Star Spangled Banner, ladies and gentlemen. And I'll see y'all tomorrow on that panel. Be there or be square. I'm out.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes